And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Copa America 2015 Season 1. We're here in the Cruxel studio, and we are getting ready for the rounds of 8 already.
Yeah, it's been a while since we were here, but we were lucky to get our hands on our guy. So we're going to have slightly better production from when we were running this previously in the rounds of 16.
Yeah, and actually, some people have been a bit confused about that fact, but this is actually a round of 10.
Oh yeah, that's a bit of a weird format.
I've never seen that before. A round of 10?
So what they've done pretty much is that I think they've taken the previous 2 finalists from last season of Copa America and given them direct seeds to play for a semi-final spot. And you will see this, guys, coming up, because we have today 2 groups, I'd say, or rather 2 sides of the bracket. We have one upper part and one lower. As you can see, our first series that we are going to be covering, at least, is going to be CatZ versus OdinisBack and Zug versus Zug, and then the next is going to be B-Lord versus Reason, more ZVZ, and we've already touched upon this. I mean, you know, last time we were doing this, like 80% Zug.
Yeah, just about. Actually, no, it wasn't 80%. No, it was 9 Zugs, 7 Terrans, and 2 Protoss. But the thing is that we also had 2 Terrans already through, so technically it's 9 Zugs, 9 Terrans, and 2 Protoss, completely balanced. No one's sad about that. Just about.
Yeah, but that's how it looks. So as you can see, the other side, we'll see if we have time, or rather if there are still any series left. After chat with Cham Eric, Jim Rising and Wingian will be covering one of those as well. Everything today is best of 5, so we'll have slightly longer series than per usual.
Oh yeah, before it was best of 3s, but today, as you said, we're going to have about 3 best of 5s, maybe a 4th if we are lucky. But of course, how it's going to work is that we're going to have first 2 best of 5s to see who are going to be the winners, and then we're going straight into the winners match to see who's going to be placed into the WCS Latin America Challenge League, of course.
Oh yeah,
to face either CatZ or
Major. Yes, like I don't know who's going to be where of Major and CatZ, but nonetheless, will be ZVT semi-finals for Copa America.
Well, at least one of them.
At least one of them.
Yes, because we actually have one Protoss in the lower bracket, Wingian. That poor fella.
He made it through. He's the one lone guy representing Aya and Protoss. Personally, I hope that he'll be able to make it through, because, you know, being a little biased, it's just the lack of Protoss. Sort of, I like the dynamic of mixing things up.
Yeah, I actually like it as well. We want to have all the 3 races when we're going to have these brackets.
We have to represent, you know.
Yeah,
like,
we have to. You have to rep it.
Yeah,
but
rep it.
I have to rep it. Now, okay, so we're going to move on with the first series soon, and our first player is going to be CatZ. And you can see him right behind here. Hopefully I'm not blocking too much.
I'll move a little bit as well.
Awesome. So here's the CatZ, one of the creators of the different stock of builds we see all today.
I know that there's been like shoutouts in like GSL or other Pro League with Korean Zugs thanking him for the innovations, because he's a very creative guy.
He really is. Some things he's done, of course, is... I'm not sure how official it is, but I know a lot of people
they credit him.
They credit him for the hatch block against even Terrans, but also, of course, mainly Protoss. Now, of course, he's done tons of things, everything from proxy hatching to Swarmers play, Ultralisk drops, we're seeing Bailing drops in Roach Wars, like, what?
Yeah, he's been trying lots of crazy stuff, you know, some of it works, some of it doesn't, but nonetheless, he definitely makes the metagame, or rather, the anti-metagame, a lot more interesting.
He certainly does. But of course, he does have an opponent as well, as going to be OdinisBack. And you can see him right there on the screen. And, well, that means we're going to have ZVZ. Now, we saw Odin a week ago.
That's correct. And he played a very close series versus one of the Terrans who did not make it through in the deciding round.
Sealer.
Yeah, that's his name exactly. And we saw him really going super hard on the late game tech. He was going like Broodlords, Ultralisks.
Odin, that is, of course.
Yes, the Terran cannot build Broodlords.
Unfortunately.
Maybe in the future.
Maybe
in the near future. You
actually, they are actually still adding a Terran unit to Layers and Void. We'll see. They said they're experimenting with everything. Who knows? Maybe a Terran Broodlord, like a mech Broodlord.
Yeah, a mechanized Broodlord would be really cool.
That'd be something very Hearthstone to do. Like, just pull out everything similar, but mech.
Yeah, I got like Mech Yeti.
Yeah, exactly. Like mech Broodlord, why not?
Meh. But yeah, so that is going to be that for our first series. We're just making sure everything is ready and set up. But of course, look at this. No hands. I don't have to do anything. And our observer today is going to be Alex right here.
Well, thank you. I hope every setting is okay. It was a bit rushed, but hopefully it is going to be set up correctly. Now, actually, you got a quick little shout out here from B-Lord, who jumped into the group to say hey. I didn't have the heart to tell him that it was actually me on your account.
Yeah, like, for anyone who doesn't know, I personally know B-Lord. Julio is his name. I hope I didn't doom him. But
hopefully not.
Hopefully not. I didn't say his surname.
Yeah, I did actually meet him as well, DreamHack.
Yeah.
I never recognized, like, I recognized the name B-Lord, but I didn't really connect it, and like I never took contact with him afterwards. But I actually still talked to Glide, very cool guy.
Another caster. Casts in Hebrew, actually.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, I think that's really cool that there's like an interest in esports down there in Israel where he lives.
Yeah.
And, you know, we still talk sometimes, tweet, and, you know.
I actually used to practice with him as well.
You did?
Yeah, I actually said I needed some practice partners. He set me up with a few. It was really cool.
Yeah,
really nice guy.
Like, yeah, he's really chill, and of course he brought his friends with him to DreamHack Winter last year, and that's where we hung out. And was good. So kind of cool, you know, to be able to call someone you know on a personal level.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Have to watch out for to be biased, but
yes, I think that's one of the things. But I don't struggle too much with that because I mean he's not Protoss, so I don't have to be biased with him.
That's true. The day Nano pops out, then we're gonna have a bad day.
That's the
day you have to stop casting.
Yes, that's where I will pass on the crown.
Yes, the crown of thorns. So the thing is, right now we are setting up the lobby. So Odin versus CatZ is going to happen just in any moment. It's going to be a ZVZ, but the question is, we've seen a lot of different styles between these two. Or rather, not only these two players, but in the meta right now in Latin America, we saw, for instance, in the first series we ever saw with B-Lord in it.
Oh yeah,
yeah, like a Muta base trade.
And then he also versus Eric. Yeah, that was versus Eric. That first he opened with a 7-pool, or no, a 9-pool drone pool. Where he made like 6 links, pulled half of his drones. So he had 5 or 6 drones with the links, and continuously made like a pack of or rather like a set of Zerglings very, very slowly. No queen, no nothing, only a single overlord. And game number 2, he went for another 9 pool. Didn't pull drones. But
actually, I think you have it the other way around. Because it was the second game he actually spine crawl rushed him.
Oh yeah.
So it was the first game where he just pulled links to cancel the hatchery. And then they came into a mute war, and he was in the lead.
And it was just like, B-Lord played super aggressive, and it turned into like kind of weird games.
Yeah, it was a very special game. It was like
it's good that you're here to remember the things I don't clearly remember.
Hey, it's CVZ, I can't forget it.
Because it's like, I'll remember half of your wedding.
What?
I'll remember, like, when you go and get married, I will be able to recall half of it.
Half of it?
Yeah, of what went down, like the part that you've forgotten, and then you can fill me on my wedding, because I don't know if that makes sense.
I have no idea what you're on about right now. I'm really confused.
No, but I think my point was, when we watch a game and if there's something I've forgotten,
oh yeah, I'll just fill in. Yes,
yeah, exactly.
I'm your filler.
And the other way around.
Absolutely, you got my back.
Yeah, man. You're like a bad episode of a show that doesn't have any sense to a plot. I'm joking. You're great.
Okay, well, thank you, Lucas. Okay, so actually, before anyone asks, because probably people already have, I have no idea actually, but before anyone asks about this, I'll be observing. So if anyone wonders about my my poor dress code with the with my right arm, it's just because otherwise you're going to have a very, very choppy camera because you keep hitting. I don't know why. But something about the height of tables and your arm always getting stuck with shirts.
I've noticed. So, like, I kind of pull up my sleeves as well.
Yeah.
When I'm, like, even when I'm just playing games and not actually observing. But it's like you say, observing takes a lot of focus. And it's really annoying if you don't have enough space to, like, move your mouse and move your arms around. Because there's a lot of moving.
It is. Of course, you have to drive the camera around. And I actually remember for DreamHack Winter when I was going to observe. And it was pretty funny because I pulled the kind of business casual look when you have jeans but you have a jacket,
like a blazer and a shirt.
Yeah, kind of. So actually, it's just suit jackets. but still works. So, you know, I get that. I look pretty fancy, you know?
Yeah.
I get a few compliments. It's like, you know, I'm trying at least. So, I pull that off, and I'm dusting my shirt then, and I start pulling up my sleeves, you know? And I was like, what is he doing? And I can really try on it, just pulling up my sleeves, and then just preparing and warming up.
Getting down to business.
Yeah, I'm sitting down warming up for observing. I was like, are you serious?
Cracking your knuckles.
Yeah. It's like, we start in an hour, dude.
I think, you know, better to be over-prepared than under-prepared.
That's very
true.
true.
To be fair.
It is
Especially when it comes down to something like this, because observing takes a lot of hard and fine work.
But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have bantered enough. Our first game is going to be on Echo, and it's going to be Odin versus CatZ. Let's get on with it.
Yes, and here we are, guys. So, in the top left, in the red, playing for Team Ro8, here on Echo, it is going to be CatZ. And down here in the bottom right in the blue, it is the one-eyed god, Odin.
He does not have a hammer, Lucas.
I know.
He does not have a hammer. I have no idea why you would say that to me.
I'm just bad with the Norse mythology.
Yeah, I guess so. Actually, it's not even North, it's Norse, I guess.
Yeah, I said Norse.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I was actually about to correct you like that.
It happens too often, so I think you're making it into a bad habit.
Well, actually, I'm not sure if it's actually a bad habit, but
it's a good annoying habit.
Yeah, I guess so. So, okay, so ladies and gentlemen, you know that we love to talk about movies, we like to talk about series.
We talk about everything.
We talk about everything but StarCraft. So actually, let's talk about StarCraft right off the bat here. So, Odin vs CatZ. I'm not going to lie. I think CatZ coming into this is going to be not only the crowd favorite, but also, of course, the one people would tend to agree is the favorite when it comes to just skill-wise and result-wise, right?
Not only that, CatZ, I'd say, arguably has more tournament experience, because, I mean, he's been playing a lot in the foreign scene. Not as much as of late, but if we go back a couple of years, so tournament experience is definitely a thing as well that you have to take into consideration. Might come into play in this series.
Yeah, it might. So, so right now, let's see what's going on here. I heard actually the in-game audio is pretty low. I'm not sure though if I should be tabbing up already. I don't know. Do you think it's a bit?
I think you can get away with it. So.
Can I?
Yeah,
I'm really quick. I'm really quick.
You'll be really fast.
Okay. So
to
I'll
anyone,
just tune it up a bit.
Yeah, so don't worry, guys, because as you can see, we saw hatcheries first, and then gas into pools, or rather pools into gas. So fairly slow start right now, and the action isn't gonna. If we're gonna see any action, it's not gonna be for another like 2.5 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's very true. Actually, we need to see some speed coming out before anything really can happen.
Whoa!
Oh, horrors!
Oh, horrors! You lagged out last time.
You can't keep it lagging out, mate. You know.
No, that's hopefully he'll be able to sort out his internet or hardware. Don't know what sort of issue it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully it's going to be all right with him.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Otherwise,
we'll see if we remake or not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did pull from replay once.
Yes, that's true.
But well, seems like he's not really coming back to us, unfortunately. Well, hopefully his co-caster is the mainstream, so he doesn't drop the stream.
Yeah, that'd be a shame, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
But I mean, we are here at least. We are the English stream, guys, and as you can see, we have this sick setup today with these monitors behind us, and we have this really slick desk, and it's just really nice and really comfortable. But look at that, we are back in the action, and we'll have to see if they decide to remake, but doesn't look like it.
No, I mean, we'll see. It seems like it's going to be okay. Maybe it was just the co-caster. And
that's like best worst case scenario kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of, I guess. I mean, yeah, because he already laid out. I guess that's the best scenario we could have. But anyhow, we're back in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Odin right away sends a few links out. Can see if we can get the scouts. Same for CatZ. Now, something you can see really good players do is have a drone together with Queen to block off the ramp so the Lynx don't actually get up. But we haven't seen that so far in Copa America. I saw one attempt of it, but never actually succeeding.
Yeah, it didn't work out. Ended up losing the drone. That's a little sad. Like, it breaks your heart.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Look at this. These Lynx going to make it past. We'll see the Baneling nest go down here. And see gas continuously being mined. I mean, it doesn't mean that you're going to be hit by super all-in, but it will... It can definitely force your opponent to be a little bit more defensive than he wants to be, because, I mean, he knows that there is always the opportunity for his opponent to go for something aggressive. Now,
the problem is this, though. CatZ comes in and, well, he didn't see a speed being researched on that pool, so the question is, what is Odin to do with slow Lynx and Bane Lynx? Now, it looks like he just wants to be very defensive, and without speed, you can't really punish a third, so it would be very natural for CatZ to just go for a third. But the question is, did he pay attention?
And that's very important. We'll keep our eyes on that. Make sure to keep your eyes on that mini-map. Or rather, I will keep my eyes on that mini-map, because, of course, you're busy with observing.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, okay, so look what this is... I just realized now, we saw those Zerglings from Odin come back up and try to stop those two Lings from CatZ to get in. It's because they came from that angle because they broke down that tower.
Yeah, I guess so. But the problem right now, though, is that Odin doesn't have speed. And if CatZ actually was paying attention to that, he can punish this really badly. And we see already 12 Lings on the way. Roach Spawn just started for Odin. So now Odin is going to have to defend this hatchery with only slow Lings, Queens, and Banes.
We'll have to see. I mean, he's already got that creep spread going. And this is a very important detail, though. Even though he lacks that speed, so not only will it be hard for him to be counter-aggressive, like you said, this hold, or rather, the defense here, is going to be a little tricky. He can pull it off with the correct micro and decision-making, but the importance of breaking down those rocks, giving CatZ only a single angle of attack, is probably the biggest thing here, and I really like that so far. And a fairly good connection already with that first initial Baneling.
Oh, yeah.
For Odin.
Yeah, I would say CatZ splitting up really well. Now, the problem is, as you say, those rock towers, and, well, right now we see CatZ trying to push in, has to watch out for those Banelings, though.
Yeah, nice transfuse there from Odin, keeping that Queen alive, and look at that, no real damage suffered yet. Needs to be very careful, though. Here we go again, wave number 2, another transfuse goes down. Odin playing it very patiently there, and even focus firing one of those Banelings down. So, he's going to be able to keep his third base. And, you know what? We have Odin with the... quicker road form, but actually CatZ going for a much faster lair, faster upgrades as well, and he behind this added in a ton of drones, so he's up now by 9 workers.
Yeah, even more so. Look at that. That's 14 for you. Now the question is, how many roaches do we see from Odin? Not too many, actually. He's been focusing on something. The question is what in this case. Because now he's starting to the roach production, but I guess he was just spending way too much on getting the defense up to really focus on the droning.
I don't know, I think it looks really weird because he didn't have too many units on the ground. He had mainly the Queens and then that spine. So it just sort of baffles me how he could be behind so far in drones. Didn't really end up spending that money, so now we see him starting to catch up a little bit. Now he's starting to make something happen, but still, nonetheless, CatZ has a massive advantage here in pretty much every department going for him.
Yeah, he really does, and well, we see CatZ right now starting that roach production. Now, Odin is going to catch up. In just a few seconds, he's going to have the same amount of workers as CatZ. Now, thing is this, though. CatZ is adding that gas. He's going to have a good saturation for his third base. He's going up to even more workers, though, so it looks like he wants to go up to that kind of double gas in his third instead of just mass roach. We might be able to see kind of transitional play from him, or even Baneling play if he wants to.
Yeah, adding in Banelings at this stage of the game, I think isn't that more of a very stylistic kind of thing to do?
It's aggressive, very aggressive. Something True would do, for instance. Well, stylistic, technically yes, but it's more one of those moves that should kill your opponent fairly soon.
Is it like a common, like how common would you say it is?
It's one of the major builds. I would say it's one of the major threats and one of the major styles to do. Of course, Roach Hydra is much more developed and much older, but the going to the Bane speed is very, very common.
We'll see if we'll have some big Baneling play then from any of these guys. CatZ though goes right into the infestation pit. However, though, I'm just going to stress it once again. Look at that supply differential between these two players. CatZ up already with 40 supply. Absolutely crazy. And he's been ahead in workers all game long. He's even going to have +2 a little faster here. Pushing across the map with a lot of roaches. And, well, Odin does have that carapace, but it is not as big of an upgrade as that faster +2. We'll see though if CatZ decides to go right now. He's got a heavy advantage in roaches.
Yeah, he really does, and it's kind of up to the spine crawlers to make something happen for the defensive Odin. The problem is just he has such inferior roach numbers, and CatZ could actually just attack into these destructible debris, and well, Odin doesn't really have spine crawlers covering that area.
No, it would really make things a little harder for him there if CatZ opened up a second route or path of attack. Now we have the muscular augments researching for Odin, so we will see him at some point attempt to add in those hydras. Of course, that point of transition is a little scary for the Zug who's making that switch up, because of course reduces your roach numbers and means you're investing money into more expensive but softer skinned units, so it's a bit of a risk. CatZ though, it's called pathogen glands, going for the infestors, so slightly older approach from CatZ.
Yeah, a bit at least. It's one of those things we used to see quite a bit, especially in Wings of Liberty. Not as common nowadays to go straight into. It's still one of the major builds, but it's not something you have to do every game like you kind of had to do in Wings for some time. Now, here's the thing. Going straight into infestors is great against Baneling play, so you can auto-counter that. But, well, CatZ hasn't really seen the Hydra stand, so he doesn't know exactly what to anticipate, and now he does. But he already added his own Hydra Den, and of course when you have Roach Hydra Infester, that's kind of your ultimate late mid-game composition.
He's actually gotten an advantage in supply for the first time in this game. And CatZ is going to end up losing a bunch of overlords. This is going to be fairly annoying if he gets supply blocked and is forced to spend some extra money and love on remaking these overlords. That's going to be a bit of a tricky situation, but no, he actually pre-made a bunch, adding more spine crawlers. He needs to be very careful here though, because CatZ has infestors here on the high ground, and this is going to be a hard angle to break for Odin if he goes up this ramp.
I did have vision of a few of them though, so he did have some K in his play at least, but well, Odin right now is starting to stream to the right-hand side, and well, CatZ could get some pretty decent fungals. Great fungal to the left-hand side, trapping a lot of units, but no chain fungal on top of that. And we see Odin right now trying to trade, but here comes the spine cores to the left-hand side, and the right-hand side is still doing okay for CatZ. And he's actually going to force Odin back pretty close here, but well, CatZ might be overextending a bit.
Yeah, needs to keep these infestors on creep. Of course, the damage here in the army for Odin is still very high with that amount of Hydra still alive. The problem, of course, that in that fight was that they pretty much lost their shield, the roaches, to keep those alive. So I think retreating with the majority of your Hydra still alive, I think that, or rather intact, I think that's a very good tactical choice here from Odin, because very often, more often than not, I dare say, we see the Zerg sort of just giving up his entire army, and those Hydralisks, of course, very costly units to replenish.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, the Infestors are completely depleted in energy, and, well, they throw a few Infest Tyrants. Not going to do too much here. 26 Hydras for Odin. Just going to be able to push across here. I feel maybe with the Spine Core it's possible to hold, and there are a lot of Roaches for CatZ. But the DPS of these Hydras is just so insane. I don't know. It's a great fortification of those. It's kind of helms deep at this point.
Yeah, going to be very hard to break in. I mean, the angle here for CatZ that's set up is very nice. And no fungals available. One or two. Not even fungals. That's actually a Spore Crawler. Baits out the what little energy was left in form of infested Terrans. And he's just playing a very sort of methodical and patient game here with CatZ.
CatZ is starting to replenish his Hydra count, which is great, but actually right now he's taking a pretty bad engagement considering the arc he's getting, and behind this Odin is actually establishing his fourth base. Now he's going to send that Roach to look for the fourth base, and as it is, CatZ should not be able to hold on to it. Here we go, the Roach finds it, and now Odin can focus that down and go into his own 4 vs 3 bases, and take a very nice lead in this CVZ.
Yeah, let's see if he decides to peel off units. One of the risks would be, of course, if CatZ identifies that half of his army is left, or if he could catch any units out of position, then that would be a scary thing. But no, big frontal engagement. The Banelings do connect with a lot of these roaches that were clumped up, so we see the left flank of this army for Odin actually get completely disintegrated, and now CatZ is pushing him back, gets a fairly good connection once again with those Banelings. The Hydralisks now completely naked in the open, and CatZ pushing Odin back once again. However, the fourth base is under fire. 4 roaches, easy to break down, but the question is, has CatZ realized that the base is actually taking some damage? He's fully focused on this, on the counterattack right now.
Yeah, I think he must know, of course, because he was in a defensive posture when it happened, but, well, he's right now trying to shut down the fourth base. I guess he's just trying to trade, really.
Yeah, still, this is looking very scary. The Banelings make it halfway there, so they get a couple of decent connections with a few Hydras. Fungal does go down, getting some damage here, but still the reinforcements from Odin is going to be pushing CatZ back, and I don't think this is where CatZ wants to be staying, because there's too much blue, and the fourth base here has actually gone down amidst all this action, and this is a massive blow to the future in the game here for CatZ.
Absolutely. Right now, CatZ is running with a tail between his legs back to his third base, but how is he really going to hold this? He has no units at this point, trying to just create pure roach almost, but he has 219 roaches against 45 and 16. No way. And, well, Odin's coming in here to try to finish what he started.
Yeah, this game right now heavily looking in favor of Odin. He's managed to break the front line of CatZ. The Spine Crawlers are not even going to help here at this point. He's going to get right on top of everything. And CatZ, superior economy, but just not enough army to stay in this game. And that's going to be it. So GG, Odin takes the first map. That was Echo with a decisive fashion, staying sort of behind most of the game, but taking some really good angles and really good fights. I think CatZ getting a little impatient and overextending there after that first fight with the Fungals.
Yeah, I kind of agree, and I feel as well that going to Infestors first is not really something I like, personally. Now, it's a bit of preference as well, but when you're going to Infestors first, you kind of want to defend how to hit those key Fungals, because otherwise what happens is what we just saw. Odin goes forward, baits a few Fungals, maybe baits a few Infested Terrans, but then what are your Infestors going to do? They're not static, they have a dynamic usability with their energy gain. So when you bait down, let's say, 10 Infested Terrans, you just go back and 10 seconds later, or 30 seconds later, just push in again.
Yeah, and he was doing a really good job baiting out that energy. I think even you can even at some point soak up a couple of Fungals with a bunch of roaches or a bunch of units if you know that you have tons of reinforcements coming back across the map to reinforce. Because, like you say, the Infestor is sort of playing on a limited timer. You need to win the fight heavily. You need to crush your opponent in the first engagement with your first key Fungals. Because if you don't, you'll get overrun. And that sort of makes the Infestor a double-edged sword. Because it can really cut both ways.
It can. I mean, well, like, especially if you go against the Hydras. Now, if you go against Banes, for instance, they're amazing.
Oh, yeah, but like, versus Banes, you kind of auto-win.
Kind of, yes.
But Hydra's definitely another story.
Yeah, well, right now I'm just setting up a few things in the lobby here. I'm going to have to apologize me looking down here.
It's all good. We know you do it too.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
It's different because we have a camera in front of us, and then we have course, these screens right here, so we see what's going on. One thing, you know, going back to this first map, which excellent first game, nonetheless, I have to say, between both of from both of our players. The fact that Odin played very he was very conservative with his Hydralisks. And like I said during the game, I think it's something that's very rare, which is a bit of a shame, in my opinion. That we see Zerg sort of, okay, I'm committing in, my roaches have died, so I have no more roaches, but I have a bunch of Hydras, but I'm just going to let them die.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I really liked that he got muscular augments, Hydra speed, and backed off when the roaches had died. Like, he retreated.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I feel that when you go into Roach Hydra, you want to actually get as many Hydras as possible, and just have enough roaches so they can tank against, let's say, Banes if you don't really know what your opponents are going for. Otherwise, just tank for the roaches and Hydras of your opponent. But usually it's the one with the most Hydras who usually win the fight. So what happens is, as you say, they're kind of like glass cannons. So if you push in and your roaches kind of die off, then they die so quickly they won't actually trade cost effectively. Like, a Hydra for Roach is not really cost effective.
No. And a Roach much more resilient than a Hydralisk. Ro8 is 75-25. A Hydra is 150. So 100 minerals, 50 gas. A much more expensive unit. And you lose the bulk of your Hydralisks, then it's really hard to catch back up. And if you always fight with lower Hydralisks numbers, you can, like, even if you have a better concave, that added DPS from your opponent can really turn things around. So I'm just going to continuously say that I'm really happy that we saw that, and I hope that it's going to be a trend from Odin, that he plays in that decisive fashion.
Yeah, I actually love, though, when you don't go into pure Roach Hydra, when you actually just decide to go into either Roach Bane to just bust your opponent down, these big plays, and when you start to see the kind of counter plays with going Infestor first into, like, you know, Roach Infestor to just hold off the aggression, or even what we saw way back, we saw a bit in Kung Fu Cup as well, when you go into, of course, the super late game really quickly.
And we'll see if that comes up here. Guys, map number 2. So let's go right into the thick of it, and so here we are on Coda in the red. It is going to be playing for Team Root. It's going to be CatZ, and his opponent here in the top left in the blue, playing for Shot. It's OdinisBack, and taking that first game with renewed vigor from how he was looking previously through the rounds of 16. So far with this first game, if he follows this suit, I think he's going to make it very far.
Yeah, I have to say, I wasn't expecting Odin to take a straight up macro game like he did. Now, something I want to point out, because you pointed out, and it was actually more brilliant than we made it sound, I think, was him killing off the destructible debris after going without speed. It's something you don't really see. Like, it's pretty damn brilliant.
Yeah, I think what's extra cool about it is the fact that it's a very map-specific thing. So you could definitely... I think he could definitely have tailored the opening to that map, knowing that, okay, I'm not going to send my lings across, so I'm not going to have that scouting information, but that's why I have the safety Baneling nest, because he's committing those 6 Zerglings to break down the rock tower. So I think that's just a detail that's kind of cool. And I really like it, personally, when we see players adjusting their specific builds and styles to the maps they're playing on.
Absolutely. I think as well that CatZ was kind of caught off guard with it, because he, as soon as he saw this, he started making workers. Oh, sorry, not workers, lings.
Yeah.
Is exactly what he started doing. Lings. He wanted to shut it down, but he really couldn't.
No,
he even split really well the first engagement, but it's just not enough when you have 3 queens defending with transfuses.
No, so it ended up being very cost effective there for Odin, because I was a little worried, because like you said, scary if CatZ knows you don't have speed, but it's just the position that Odin found himself there, with connecting creep really quickly. He was so fast on getting that second creep tumor down that ramp towards that third base, and it really helped him. So just nonetheless, really cool, cute sort of game, or game plan rather, from Odin.
I actually agree completely. I have to say, Odin, very smart play right away, but well, he actually does have no Geysers yet, so this might mean he's going to go gasless, which is something we actually don't see enough in the European or North American scene right now. Uh-oh, we've seen this before.
Ooh, he's going to go into Carapace. So, and that, of course, means that Banelings no longer one-shot Zerglings, but two-shot them. And even though it might not seem that it's a big deal, a couple of Zerglings in the red make it past... They can morph into Banelings.
Ooh, whoa.
What? Is this some sort of counterplay, anticipating that his opponent is going to be playing Carapacelings?
So, you wouldn't really go into this.
Did he see any
gas?
No,
he saw it was gasless. So, technically, what you usually do off of gasless, unless you're Saxry and you're about to win you're about to win Jamaica Malaysia. So, unless you're Saxry and about to win everything, if you go gasless, you usually go into Roach Double Evo 1-1. Now, the +1 melee is actually really good against Roaches if they don't have Carapace. Really good.
Yeah, that's actually right. if he can catch a handful of roaches in the middle of the map with a group of speedlings with
Or
plus
maybe
one.
just deny a third.
Yeah, because like you say, the +1 versus 0 carapace roaches is actually like insanely strong.
Until they get the +1, then your links will stop dying.
Yeah, exactly. But because it's so quick, it's going to come into play much faster than any +1 ever would hit from Odin.
Oh yeah.
Who's looking to go for a more standardized upgrade timing for his roaches. So this +1 could definitely set CatZ up for some strong play.
And even to put it even worse for Odin right now, he decided to go into triple gas, delayed, which means that his upgrades are going to be later than normal, because otherwise you'd see the +1 started by now, but he doesn't have that gas yet, so he was even greedier by getting the triple gas later, which he is going to catch up in gas. It's going to take a while.
Yeah, that's the thing. That sort of period before he reaches the amount that he actually needs to start really working or churning things out with, it's gonna be a while, like you say. And do you know what? CatZ, tons of lings in production to cover for this third hatchery going down. I think this third is gonna die.
I think it's going to be very difficult to defend.
I guess I was a bit rash saying it's gonna die, but I think it's gonna die. Because look at this now. +1 starts now. Okay? And, well, we don't even have those upgrades started for the roaches. For Odin, that is. And, well, 2 queens. Yummy, says CatZ.
Yeah, and look how quickly they die as well with that +1 finish now. So we see CatZ running in here. Doesn't want to attack the spike crawler for too long. I mean, that's a lot of links coming out from Odin. And Odin behind this has been getting his speed. And look at that. He cancelled his... No, sorry, he never got his +1. Okay, never mind. But yeah, he's getting speed.
It was really late.
So he's going to be able to counterattack right now. And that's pretty scary.
Yeah, but still, +1 Zerglings versus 0 upgrade Zerglings. Look at how quickly he just shreds the lings of Odin.
Yeah, that's not really fair, is it?
No, definitely not. I mean, even though he's losing the bulk of his offensive force here, just trading so cost effectively.
Yeah, and of course a lot of those links that CatZ did lose were to queens and of course the spine core, which is actually currently going down here. We see CatZ pulling a lot of his links down to start killing off a lot of the links of Odin, and he knows that the best way to deal with Odin is to trade as cost effectively as possible now. And look at that, Odin never even cancelling his own third, so he's actually going to lose it.
I think he was really confident in like, nah, it's going to be fine. I have the queens on the ground, I have the spine, but he wasn't anticipating this +1 upgrade, which is just such a power tool for CatZ here. And the follow-up is not only the third base, but faster +1, glider reconstitution as well coming into play much quicker. So CatZ is just going to have a better mid-game army. And he's even going to get into the natural here, sees the lair that it's not done, so he knows he's going to be fairly far ahead. And he even engages right on top of these roaches. And look at the damage that they do. So many queens have gone down, 12 drones as well. CatZ now in excellent shape.
He really is, and he's actually killing off every single roach coming into the drone line, and that's going to be too much for Odin. And, well, that is going to be CatZ's game, and he's going to take that into a 1-1 scenario.
That was a really good, just really excellent game from CatZ. Catching his opponent completely off guard. And, I mean, I guess it's a bit of a little risk to invest in the quick +1 like that, you know, if you're going to be getting attacked early by Lings and Banes of your opponent, or if we would have seen a really quick +1 timing with roaches off the 2 bases. You know, you go gasless and then the 5-minute double gas into walling off the front, and then you wait for +1, go with the roaches, march across the map. No real way for CatZ to stop that. Yeah. But really, everything just sort of played into his hands there.
Something I'm thinking right now as well, because of how Ling Wars kind of works, especially when you want to cancel someone's third, you almost never are going to have those upgrades. So it's
+1, right?
Exactly, and even like +1 carapace is very uncommon.
Yeah.
So since it wasn't a Ling Bane War, it was just pure Lings, and it was pretty delayed just to cancel a third. I'm thinking right now, how long did it take until for Odin to understand it was a +1 melee timing? Because he might actually have taken most of this engagement, not even realizing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. I guess the thing of it, like, my queens are dying a little quick right now, but it's like a very subtle addition.
Yeah, and especially if you're macroing around and you're multitasking. The thing is, you won't be you don't have time to pay attention to did your queens die half a second too quickly. You actually are just going to think, oh, things are happening really quick, but that's because they actually are happening really quick.
Like, I have to respond. And the standard is, okay, he's going to be attacking with lots of speedlings, so I'll just get lings of my own, and then we'll trade him because I have defender's advantage. And the queens, I'm going to be in good shape, but no, +1 just too strong. And
Too strong.
I mean, we saw them, man, they shredded those queens, got on top of the roaches, crushed those.
Yeah, you saw how quickly the roaches died as well. Yeah, like, +1 links are actually really amazing against roaches, as long as you don't have enough big of a roach mass. So you don't get any surface area?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
or the 1-1.
I guess I was going to say, like, in a choke.
Exactly. I actually lost that so many times when we have early upgraded links, like 1-1 links, because if you go into that 1-1 really quickly, and you hit it before the roach player has his upgrades, the links really shred you. Especially if you rally roaches just like a line, because then you get perfect surface area.
And they surround them.
Like a second. It's brutal. It's brutal. And they had like 70 links. Like, who has 70 links?
But you have like 20 drones though, so or 25 drones maybe. Your economy is really weak if you go right.
Oh yeah, well you do make a lot of links, but that also means you have a quicker third, and as soon as you made your links,
I thought you were moving towards like fairly late third, really fast double upgrades.
Oh no.
Where like you make a big swell of links, then you drone behind it.
No, actually you can get away with a really early third. It's really scary stuff. It is.
ZVC is just so insane.
It is really scary.
I'm learning so much every day.
Yeah, it's
okay, actually not every day because we don't cast every day, but every time we cast, they learn something new about ZVZ.
It's kind of like, instead of Alien vs Predator, it's just Alien vs Alien, and it's just really weird stuff happening all the time.
I'm trying to think if there are like any films where you have aliens fighting aliens, but can't think.
StarCraft.
Protoss
Cinematics.
Protoss are aliens.
They are.
And
actually, to most Alien vs Predator, Predator's still an alien.
Yeah, that's actually a point.
Yeah, I just told you. Sorry for spoiling, but they're an alien. What can I say?
That's how it is.
Yeah,
it's a harsh reality of things, guys.
Sorry if I broke your reality.
You just ruined just everything for everyone.
Oh yeah, this one guy who's
this
like,
is why we can't have nice things.
It's like this one guy who's like, I thought they were just people.
Yeah, they're like different. Anyway, as you can see, we have loaded up the map. So let's get right into it. We are on Expedition Lost, and it's not part of the, or it's not one of the newer generation maps. Nonetheless, our first player in the top right, playing for Team Ro8, it's going to be CatZ. And his opponent here in the bottom left, playing for Shot. It is OdinisBack, and he is in the blue.
Yeah. Now, I'm still kind of freaking out of the WCS 2.0 overlay. It was ages since I got to observe with this.
We use, what's it called?
We usually use Game Hearts.
Yes.
Or Garlic even.
Garlic or Game Heart. I say Garlic.
Yeah, you do. It's much better.
Garlic sounds like garlic.
Well, yeah, you just said it twice, so probably yes.
Do you think he wants it to be pronounced Garlic?
I think he wants to. I just think he wants it to be pronounced
Garlic.
It's like me. Like if people ask me,
I want it to be pronounced.
Yeah, exactly. No,
so, do you want us to say Alex or Alexander?
No. It's. Oh, actually, Alex is fine. Alex is fine. But
Lex.
Lex.
Cutting out the A's.
Lex. Oh god, I just became a Superman villain.
Lex Luthor.
That went quickly.
Lex Luthor.
Am I bald as well?
Lex
Do I have a bald spot right there?
You have a bald spot right there.
What?
So Lex Lynn, Lex Luthor, kind of.
Oh, you're so
closer.
bad-mannered.
Getting closer.
So bad-mannered. But yes, okay, so we actually hatch first versus pool first, so CatZ really not afraid of anything, and, well, he still goes for a pretty safe pool with 15 pool behind it. We even saw him once going to 14 pool because he was pretty afraid.
No 14-14s though, coming out into play in this series. Or no, could we maybe see hatch first into only 100 gas and then mass speedlings? Because I know that's a thing.
That is actually a thing, a very scary thing.
It's a really annoying thing.
Oh yeah. Well, it is possible. We're going to see actually. So if you see someone pull off completely off of gas, it's usually, if it's a really really good player, that it's most common for it to be just speed into a third, very very quick third, and get away with that. Usually into like +1 roaches.
Is it because you kind of scare your opponent into thinking that you're going to be speedling or linning?
Well, it's actually because if your opponent doesn't get speed,
oh yeah, that's true.
He can't really contest it. There's no way to contest your third.
That's a good point. And there's also no way for him to take a third of his own, because...
Speedlings.
Exactly. Like, you have speed, and he doesn't. And when you have speed, your things go faster. And when your things go faster, it's better.
Exactly. Faster is better.
Faster, better, stronger. Harder.
I actually sing Kanye West right now.
It's not Kanye West.
He did make one of those songs. I'm not sure who made the first one, though.
Oh,
I'm
like
one of those kids. I'm sorry, okay?
He's the OG, man.
Yeah, he's the original. He's the original gangster. But
Kanye West on a Kanye quest to be the Kanye best.
That one. That's a one. But okay, so right now, Odin, once again, look at this. He's going for that Bane Nest. No speed yet. And a cat has cut out his own speed. So the question is, what are they looking to do? Because Odin, sure, he could pull it off previously in the first map, but he can't pull it off on Expedition Lost. There's no way.
We'll have to see. CatZ comes in and he sees 2 drones in gas. It's not... I mean, maybe this will ruse his suspicion.
Yeah.
Odin actually lost an Overlord, so did get briefly supply blocked. Little annoying thing there, especially if you want to be all-inning, but no. Odin is gonna happily drone on.
Yeah, not too much happening right now. Both players kind of testing the waters.
Biding their time.
Setting up exactly what they need to get that third base going. Now, here's the thing. CatZ went in. He didn't see the pool moving. So the question is, did he think the speed was already done? Or did he just think that Odin went for the same opener as he did in game 1? Because CatZ knows that that was a speedless opener. He saw those slow lanes.
Yeah, well, he's getting his Ro8, and that +1 started already, so he's starting to move up in towards that mid-game tech. Third base from Odin is going to get scouted. Overlord does end up getting taken out. CatZ now moving a queen across here, looking for an Overlord of his opponent, but not sending out a drone to expand yet.
So this is very weird for me, okay? So CatZ goes without speed, right? And he just saves the gas for lab, but it's not the quickest labs, and he didn't delay his gas. So my question right now is, like, why not just get speed and go for an early third? Because now we have to realize how late third is for Odin. And what Odin did is actually great against someone who doesn't have speed and doesn't go for an all-in.
CatZ with a lot of gas gets glider reconstitution. I mean, like you say, I think it's kind of odd that he decides to get up that amount of gas sort of banked up and doesn't end up using it for anything really. I would have wanted it to be perhaps some sort of borrow play, because then that's 100 gas that you can throw somewhere. But, well, I guess it's going to be from that Ro8 speed and the Overlord speed as well to go with that.
Overlord speed, that's interesting. That's something we could see a bit later in the game, so you can have those overseers always following the army of your opponent, and of course always getting the perfect scouting. But, well, it's pretty quick here from CatZ. Now, this game is kind of reversed almost, with the one going without speed, actually both did in this case, but the one going without speed gets the earlier third base, which is really odd, but will be this case. Now, CatZ has a very early +1, so technically he could hit a really strong +1 timing, but as it's right now, it feels like both players are kind of in the dark of what's happening. Odin is the one probably with a more understanding, I guess.
Yeah, like he can blindly make more assumptions that I would say are correct in comparison to those of CatZ, because even though he saw the third,
yeah,
I mean, he doesn't really have too much information. He's going to see a handful of units here from Odin on creep. Banelings were actually with this army, but they did pull back. He cleans up a little creep, but needs to be careful because he doesn't have speed of his own, so we see him already losing a couple of roaches here for free to those of CatZ. Oh man, he might actually lose all of them, and that's going to be quite a big deal, because that's like a good 7 or 8 roaches that you'll have to remake.
Yeah, that is going to be a bit annoying here, and, well, the thing is, I think, as I said, I think CatZ was kind of in the dark up till now, just about, because he didn't know that he could be pressuring. Because if you have +1 and speed on your opponent, there's no way you're not going to pressure. There's no way. Especially if it's an early third base than you are going to be the attacker. But you know what? This time, CatZ is going to kill off the ice once again, try to get up here, and, well, Odin helps him out a bit.
Yeah, I think Odin is a bit eager to take this fight just because he's waiting for that, because he knows 1-1 for him is going to be done very, very shortly, and he must have clicked those roaches. Oh, whoa, actually gets some fairly good connections, and he's going to swing around here, trying to go for a bit of a sandwich. Another Bailey connection is fairly good, bringing a lot of these roaches down into low health, but he needs to be careful, get some reinforcements on top of there. Nonetheless, what looked very scary for our Blue Zerg suddenly turned around, and now CatZ is retreating, tail between his legs.
Yeah, but now Odin has the upgrade advantage with the Carapace, and he's just rallying roaches. Both are pretty decent drone counts.
He backed off at the last second.
Yeah, he did.
He should have gone for it.
I don't know. The problem is that you have so many roaches not attacking because of that rally.
Oh, that's true, and it can actually be a little deceiving because you have a lot of supply tied up into eggs. But here we go once again. Odin getting a couple of good volleys here on top of the roaches of CatZ. Is going to force him back once more. However, big deal here. CatZ with that burrow and tunneling claws on the way. We'll see if the reveal is going to happen. He's going to go for a big counterattack towards the main base. Good number of roaches heading right up that ramp. And now suddenly Odin completely out of position. His main is going to come under a lot of fire. We'll see how much damage he's going to be able to do here. Or rather stop here from CatZ. Queen does fall. A couple of roaches do swing up, but they're not going to be enough. They're going to be overwhelmed. And now burrow has finished. So do you know what? CatZ can just burrow, hide these roaches, and come back in once tunneling claws has finished.
I'm a bit surprised this CatZ decided to get out of there. I really feel they can take the engagement with some burrow micro, but he right now wants to focus on his own defense. Now, he actually doesn't have an overlord or overseer in place, so he's going to let the roaches get right into his own base. But, well, he's getting a pretty good surround. At the same time, he's running into Odin's base.
Yeah, main and third taking fire. Drones going down left and right here for Odin. But the units in the main for CatZ get... Or rather for Odin, get completely cleaned up, and even though Odin has stabilized, he's down in 60 supply. His opponent doubling him in those roach numbers, and bear in mind, still, +2 not done yet here for Odin, so if he can maybe buy a little bit more time, then he'll fight with an upgrade advantage, because remember, he does have +1 Carapace, but for now, CatZ is looking to go for the kill.
It does look like that is going to be the case. CatZ right now moving up here with a lot of roaches, and Odin stuck behind the middle line. Now gets up here, but that is a bit too late. CatZ, of course, with +2 gets 1-1 only. Takes a fantastic engagement. Odin right now has way too few roaches. Even some cute burrow micro here in the back. And that is kind of going to seal the deal. Odin with a last stand in Asgard. What is it? Asgard?
In Asgard.
Asgard, yes.
Lost his other eye.
He lost his second eye.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he has one more game, so,
yeah, so
he can still use the Ravens.
He still has, I think he hasn't lost the eye yet, but like you say, perhaps one more game.
Yeah.
I mean, we are match point now.
We are at match points, and, well, one more game, and CatZ move into the Winners Series, which will be casted later today. Otherwise, Odin's going to have his final chance of retaliation. He's going to have to win 2 in a row, though.
It's going to be a hard one.
Yeah, retaliation and redemption, I feel. Most.
I think I'd go with redemption.
The thing is, like, I don't know, when I face people, I always want to retaliate. Like, I actually want to beat them rather than I want to win.
Retaliation is when they attack you first.
Yeah, but, well, CatZ took the actually took the second game, so
yeah,
I guess.
So
okay, actually, yeah,
I guess it's CatZ.
He took the second game, so technically it's CatZ retaliating.
Yeah, he's
but now it's a vendetta, so he's retaliated the retaliation.
Yeah, so it becomes a sort of anti-retaliation.
Okay, this got very meta. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the next game is going to be on Vanny Research Station. And that, of course, is going to be our 4th game. Tenchi, who will win this?
One. Say again?
Who will win this? CatZ looked pretty weak in the first one,
yeah,
but the
did.
2 other ones...
Yeah, he's been playing very well now, game number 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm.
If Odin can make it...
No, you have to make a prediction.
If Odin goes back to playing like he did on map number 1 because he was looking really good, then so hard. But I think I'm just gonna go. I think CatZ is really riding the initiative right now, and he's just sort of had better game plans or made better moves tactically with his units. So I think it's gonna go to CatZ.
I'm actually going to call CatZ as well.
Yeah, I mean, could go either way though.
Yeah,
we still have
can.
2 more maps to go. As you can see, we are loaded in, guys. So let's jump right into it. And we are on Vani Research Station. Our first player in the bottom right, or rather in the south. I mean, we don't go left or right in this one. It's going to be CatZ in the north. His opponent in the blue, playing for Team Shot. It's going to be OdinisBack. And potentially final game on our hands in this first series. So he's going to have to make something happen. Regain that initiative on the battlefield, because CatZ right now, well, 2 games in a row is a great way to start off your day here in CopaAmerica.
Oh, it really is. And remember also, he's going to play a ZVZ for sure in the winner series as well. So, well, if CatZ could take this 3-1, he has he has a bit of a confidence boost going into the winner series.
I think that's a big detail to pay attention to. You know, like, I win any matchup, and then I know I'm going to play the same matchup in the next round. You can sort of perhaps, well, this build kind of worked, so I'll do this build. You know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry. This is a 13 pool.
CatZ.
A 13 pool. Like, okay. So 14 is like super save. 13. Actually, no. We saw this from him before. We saw him go for a really early pull before. And what he decided to do was that he just sends a few links early on. And, well, he never actually did too much damage with them. But ensured he got the early scouts going and knew exactly what was going on.
I guess as well, one strength. Whoa. What?
What is he up to?
What?
What is CatZ up to?
What?
So he's making links right now, and queen. Okay, so he's just delaying it. Okay,
Oh.
okay. So he wants to squeeze this out really quickly. The problem, though, is that last time he did this... Actually, I think he did this, right? Because he went for really early pull, which we kind of freaked out about. But, well...
He didn't really play anything into it. And we...
No.
Oh, yeah, we were saying, oh, no, he's put himself behind really far, but he ended up winning that game, actually.
He did. But I'm still not a big fan of this. Like, look how late his hatchery is. And even though he went pull first, it still would have been far long by now. And, well, 4 links... just enough to kill a queen, but with some drone micro, no, you're not really going to be able to, especially if you kite with the queen. 2 links will shut this down right away, so you shouldn't get too much done with them. But, well, right now, no links in production. CatZ kind of assuming Odin is being greedy, and he actually is. So let's see if he gets a few workers, perhaps.
He's coming in with these 4 Zerglings. Micro is going to have to be on point. 1 drone already going down and gets to isolate a second one.
Ooh.
So already CatZ getting some fairly good value out of this. Remember, taking into consideration mining time lost as well. CatZ behind this has grabbed that gas. And even though his hatchery is going to be much later, he's actually doing a fairly good job here. Barely gets a 3rd drone. So he gets 2 drones, full scout, and a little bit of mining time lost.
Wow, actually that was an overlord loss before. Wow.
Ooh, yeah, that's sloppy.
Yeah, what killed it though? That's the question. Did he move out with the queen? Yes, he did.
Oh, he's gonna get a second one.
Yeah.
This is actually kind of a big deal if you get supply blocked this early on, when you've gone for a hatchery first. Because if your opponent all ends you, like, you've generally missed like 2 or 3 cycles of Zerglings in the supply blocks.
Actually, as well, Odin, right now, you can see how far behind he is in workers, like really far behind, especially for being this early. A big part of it is, look how
he's overmade Overlords.
He's made way too many. He's right now kind of stressing out over losing Overlord, so he loses this one, and he replaces right away. But look at this, he's 29 out of 52. That's not even close to the supply cap. Like, he's right now producing just purely Overlord, and he just, okay, he goes straight into Speedling. He just skips out the gas. He says, this is enough. I'm just going to go for it. And I think this is more likely just like a panic response after messing up so many Overlords.
Yeah.
Like, sure, he got the speed going, so maybe it's a bit of a fake. But I wouldn't be too surprised if he was actually just planning on going for something else behind it. But, well, this is going to be not completely all in, but just about.
Oh, whoa. Slow down there, cowboy. Look at this. CatZ is going into that spire. And do you know what? He has no Baneling Nest.
No.
He has not gotten speed, and he does not know about this. We have 32 Zerglings on the map here for Odin, and not a single Zergling on the map for CatZ. The only thing that he could do to perhaps survive is wall off completely and then have transfuse energy available. He's got the queens there, but it's going to be a ton of lings. He's got 1 transfuse.
Yeah, 1 against 38 speedlings, and well, that Overlord, I think it should have seen them.
Okay, he's keeping tabs.
He won't see them if they go straight south, and he only sees 1 speedling, so he still doesn't know. Now, here's the big thing. Odin supply box himself. 4 Overlords right now in the making, and this Overlord will catch most of it.
Yeah, he sees, he knows, and now Odin realizes that his opponent has confirmed what's going on. So 3rd queen is going to make her way up towards the front. 2 more spine crawlers go down here as a response to this. The spire, though, is almost on. CatZ can afford 6 Mutalisks. We see them started already, and now Odin is on a timer. This is potentially, like we said, the final game. So if Odin doesn't take this map, that means CatZ is going to knock him out of CopaAmerica 3-1. So everything on the line right now for him. If he doesn't make this Zergling attack work, that's going to be it.
Well, he decides to right away go into macros. I guess since he's not constantly making more and more links, he can kind of get out of it. He's going to get on the same amount of workers as his opponent. But remember, he's so far behind when it comes to tech. His La barely started, and here comes the double Evo. He has no spore crawlers.
No, and also lots of Overlords in the middle of the map. So if CatZ wants to pick those off, he could absolutely do so. He's gonna head right towards that natural, though, and here we go. Odin is gonna try to bust up this ramp. 2 queens, though, with 2 transfuses available. 1, 2 go down, and now these queens kind of on a timer. 1 more transfuse ready. Is he gonna drop that down? The queen going down into the red. CatZ not reacting, and there we go. But now no more transfuse energy. Nonetheless, a couple of these lings have already fallen. The Mutalisks in the natural, killing off 1 spine crawler. But he's actually doing a really good job. These Zerglings buffering a lot, letting these Zerglings stay trapped on the ramp longer than they want to be. Now they've finally made it into the base, but I don't think they're going to be able to do too much damage. We already have spines ready and set.
Yeah, same kind goes for the Mutas, though. We already see a lot of spore cores being made. Now, here's the thing. Odin goes straight for Heartless Den. If CatZ behind this was to go for a Roach Warren +1 and just go for it, he could absolutely crush Odin, but we didn't see a Roach Warren right away for CatZ. Instead, we see him constantly making units, or Mutas rather. And here we go. Now the Roach Warren, now the double Evo. It's a bit too late, though.
I mean, Odin's Roach Warren is also really late at this point, so...
That's true.
I mean, he's not going to have a Roach advantage, and he didn't have anything to really work with, except those lings, which...
Oh, he cancelled the Heartless Den. Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, okay. I realize that now. But I mean, if we look at things here, he starts that 1-1, starts Borrow, interestingly enough. I think this is a good move, though, because it is going to give him the ability to move across the map without Borrow to keep those roaches protected. I mean, they just march across the map and get and get like how would you say? Rather like plucked to death.
Yes,
part by those mutas. Like
yes.
Even if they make their way across the map, they'd still suffered so many losses.
A horrible fate.
Yes, a horrible fate. A horrible fate has befallen you.
But you know what? These lings are so annoying right now because when you face mutas, you don't really think of the ground army. But here we go. No, actually, only one spore core that can kind of pick off the mutas. And well, the mutas actually going to attack straight into it. This is very, very ballsy by CatZ, but he's going to decide to do it right away. And this will constantly shut down the spore cores in the main base. There's no way really for Odin to get any into the main now because the spore cores take way too long to build up.
Yeah, this is it. I think CatZ is going to take this game, and he's doubling his opponent to supply. 12 drones have been lost. He's holding in the natural, but I mean, what is he going to do? He's going to lose more overlords, which is going to supply block him. His money is looking really bad right now. And behind all of this, if you manage to stabilize and magically somehow clean up that muta flock, roach numbers heavily favor CatZ. Third base operational. And, well, I think this is going to be it. This is going to be Odin's tournament run. Sadly knocked out in the very first round of today's CopaAmerica.
Yeah, well, he does get one spore caller. I guess it's nice for him, but that is going to be too much for him. GG from Odin. And, well, that means the CatZ is going to be the winner of our first best out of 5.
That's true. So congratulations to CatZ, and well played to both of our players. As you can see that we have him. I really like this setup.
Yeah, I really like these screens. They're
so cool.
So useful.
Make things look so sexy. That being said, CatZ just sort of dominating his opponent in the early stages of the game. That sort of Overlord loss really just completely threw...
oh, it really did.
Yeah, like threw his mind completely into complete haywire.
Oh, like he was sub 30 supply, and it went up to 52 of the, like as a maximum.
How much? That's like 400 minerals that you've overspent.
Just about.
It's not going to come into play for another like 2 minutes.
Yeah, 22 supply. Let's see. Yeah, that's 8. Yeah, it's
16.
Yeah, it's
300 minerals.
300. Yeah. And the thing is as well, like he lost another Overlord, he had to remake that as well.
So technically 400.
Exactly. You were completely correct. Now that's of course is a lot of workers as I slide into the picture again. Now, okay, so ladies and gentlemen, our second series, of course, is going to come up soon. You can actually see it right here. It's going to be
nice.
It's going to be B-Lord versus Reason.
Yes, sir. Another Zerg versus Zerg. And you can also see on the bracket as you that I'm pointing. My finger's actually in the right position. Cham versus Eric right now, 1-1. And then Jim Rising and Wingian will be duking it out in the only Zerg versus Protoss in the lower half of the bracket.
And we actually didn't see a single Terran move through.
No. However, there will be some Terran action later in the semi-finals because Kelazar and Major already qualified. So they have direct seeds into those semis. And that's actually what these guys are fighting for. So you'll see now B-Lord and Reason, our next series here. Out of Group A.
Yes, so if you guys don't really know how it works, it is a round of 10, and, well, so how it works is, it's a round of 8, technically, going into the round of 4, which is the semi-finals.
Yes.
But the winner of these two, because we're going to...
So, use the names here, so everything is super clear.
Okay, so we're going to have round of 8, first round of 4.
Yes.
And that is, of course, is the winner's match, so to say.
So we have CatZ now as the first guy.
Yes, who moves through to that. Now, the winners of the winners matches. Now it gets tricky. So the winners of the first round of 4 move into the second round of 4, where 2 people will drop into the bracket. They will just from nowhere appear,
and that's going to be Major
and KatZ.
Yeah, exactly.
One
so
in each.
Will always be at least the top half of the bracket is going to be ZVT. No matter how you look at it.
Yeah, and most likely a ZVT for the lower, unless we see Wingian.
Yeah, if he can be the hero this 10 needs.
Yeah, perhaps.
We'll have to see, though.
Yeah, we're going to see. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a quick intermission before we move on. And, well, next one is, of course, going to be B-Lord versus... Who was it again? Me and names.
I'm not gonna...
Thank you. B-Lord's Reason.
Yeah, there we go.
The one I can't remember for some reason. So thank you, everyone. We're going to be right back with you. See you soon. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Copa America 2015. Of course, also Latin America, or WCS Latin America 2015.
Yeah, it's a hybrid tournament. And you know what? We've already headed in. Let's see if I think it was right there.
It was right there, I believe.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, you're spot on. You know this.
Well, thank you.
And as you can see, we're in game. So do you know what we're going to do? I'm actually just going to go like that, and then there we are. Look at that.
Look at that.
I can
Works
do
like
production.
A charm.
It does work like a charm. And all by our guy in Crooksville Studios.
Oh, yeah.
What a hero. But you know what? We have another hero here in the bottom left on Expedition Lost. It's going to be B-Lord. And he's playing for Immortal Esports. Or Immortal Gaming. One of the two.
Immortal Esports.
Immortal Esports?
Yes.
So I was actually right. Whoa! Okay, so he's just going to sort that out. Right before...
Yeah, he has low sound, so it shouldn't take too long.
No, just like... Get that up.
Yeah, it's actually what we did.
Yeah.
Like that.
Look, well, he is done. So there we are, guys. Going to continue. Our second player here in the top right in the blue. It's going to be Reason. And yet again, another Zerg versus Zerg. So do you know what, Alex? We said I don't need to do production anymore. Yet here I am fiddling with the buttons.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, when you have all this kind of set up for us,
it's like really, you really want to push the buttons.
No, please don't push all these buttons. I'm not even sure what half of them do. I actually know 6 of these, like 72 buttons.
Yeah, there's a ton.
Yeah, don't touch anything. Just, no.
Anything colourful, I'm gonna keep my hands off it.
Yes, good. There's like a big red button saying like kill stream. You're like, huh, what's this?
It's like don't push. I'm like, okay, and punch the button as hard as I can.
Like I tell you, don't push that button. Whatever you do,
and like
I like watch you and you have to giggle and watch the button a bit, and as soon as I turn around,
and then I ignite the oxygen in our atmosphere and doom our world.
Just about. Just about, to be honest.
It's a hard life in esports.
Yeah, especially those days you ignite the oxygen.
Especially that. I think we all dread that day. It's the day esports will officially die.
I think they...
with the rest of the planet.
Exactly. I think that's the day the entire planet
it's like, it's not super specific to what subgroup of people or interests that's going to disappear. It's going to be all of us. We go down as a team.
You're very dark humor, do you know that?
I've been told so. That
yes.
It's like everyone's having a great time, and then I say something really morbid, and
no one's having a great time anymore.
No one has a great time ever.
It was an awful birthday party for little Timmy.
How
10 years old.
How was
he
the
didn't
party?
even know you.
Awful. Absolutely appalling.
Okay, but to kind of segue into the game right now, because we actually do have our first game of the series happening on Expedition Lost. We see Reason deciding to go for speed.
What if it's awful?
No. What if you're awful? You're an awful person. Now stop it. So no, I like you.
My heart.
So okay. Speed started, still mining gas, Bayonet comes down.
Yes.
We all know this.
We all know this one. It
can be defensive. Just safe play into muters.
Yes.
It can be into kind of whatever.
Can also be aggressive.
Can also be very aggressive.
So, you know, we'll come down kind of to what we'll see next on the production tab for Reason within the near future. Whoa, okay, so B-Lord, actually, this is the build he did in the last round, of the round, like in the round of 16, where we went for some fairly early roach play. With great success. Reason, though, he is going to go for the big Zergling play with Baneling support. B-Lord, though, already got...
Oh.
Ooh, look, this is a really good wall off here for B-Lord, actually.
Is it though?
Yes, there's no gap there. You don't need to worry.
You're sure?
Yeah, it's like, it looks really deceiving, but there's actually no gap.
It's actually a meta gap, because it looks like a gap, so you were drawn there.
Yeah, but like that's the thing as well. Like sometimes, I remember on Merry-Go-Round, in ZBZ, when you were walling off with Evolution Chambers and Roach Wars, there would, like, you'd think it was walled off, but there was actually a gap. But now we'll see here.
Yeah, it's not a full wall off, and well,
it actually is.
Yeah.
So I was right, but the Banelings, here we go. They're not going to be able to get too big of a connection. There's barely energy for a transfuse on this. Does he have enough time? The first Roach has popped. B-Lord will have to drop the transfuse, but he doesn't have energy. He gets one on one of the queens, but that gets fully surrounded, and now Roach is trickling out. Good focus. It is going to get one of the Banelings, though, before they can actually make too big of a detonation happen. And now, even though the drone's in the red, the Roaches here for B-Lord are screaming out in larger numbers. So he's going to be able to stabilize, and he has effectively held this off. So, not too much really lost there for B-Lord. 2 queens, maybe a drone or 2, and 2 Roaches.
Yeah, the 2 queens kind of hurts a bit because you lose so many injects.
Okay, I guess that's the only thing I'd consider a major loss.
And since he's supply capped, he still isn't making that queen.
Okay, you got me.
But, well, he didn't take a lot of direct damage, but some indirect damage here, and that will actually let Reason pick up the pace a bit, and he's going to get his own lies, going to get a lot of drones out here, so he's going to have a bit of a drone lead. Temporarily.
Yeah, B-Lord though going for the 3rd base. They ended up sort of equalizing, but like you say, Reason is going to end up pulling ahead very shortly. He saw that 3rd go down, by the way, so he's going to make a couple of speedlings. See if he can send them across and make something happen. Perhaps get a cancel. That would be very nice. B-Lord right now, though, no units around that 3rd hatchery. Will see the Zerglings move out. So he's going to move these Roaches into position. Do they have that +1 upgrade, though?
No, they don't.
Okay, soon.
But, well, no Roach speed yet as well, so I have to watch
the
that.
natural. He goes right up into the natural. Nothing to block that ramp. And now we'll see B-Lord perhaps lose yet another queen, which means even fewer index. He's going to try to go right for the drones. Sort of indecisive in what he wants to be killing here, so B-Lord actually losing nothing but a little mining time.
And actually, that wasn't Reason trying to mic around his links. That was actually B-Lord using some nice hold position on his drones, so he messes up the pathing of the Zerglings, because they won't auto-attack the drones, actually.
No, that's true. The AI auto or prioritizes anything that's A-moved.
Yes.
Like
because it's a threat.
Yes, exactly. So very nice there from B-Lord. And a little annoying for Reason, who's going to be forced to remake those units, or nonetheless, you know, throwing away units and not really doing anything is always sad. Now B-Lord, though, with +1, Glide Reconstitution complete. He's only got a slight advantage in Roaches, rather. He's going to see if he can bust up this ramp in the 3rd. We have Reason ready in position, though. No Roach speed as of yet, but still nonetheless defender's advantage. And of course this angle is hard to take for B-Lord, who eats 1 volley, gets right on top of these Roaches. They are fighting with even upgrades at this point. And B-Lord actually doing a fairly good job here. The reinforcements, though, for Reason is going to be a bit of an issue as we see 5 more Roaches trickle in here from the right-hand side. And B-Lord now slowly getting whittled down. He's going to be forced to retreat out of there, and thank God that he has Glide Reconstitution for this one.
Oh yeah, otherwise it would be pretty scary, but Reason still doesn't, so he can't really be aggressive. But as he's about to finish, now he starts moving out with the low Roaches, and that kind of back and forward play that we saw between CatZ and Odin before is going to kind of happen once again, where we see now Reason getting so much defense that he feels that with that kind of positive trade on his behalf, he's going to be able to set up that kind of counter pressure.
And he's going to break down this ice into the lane. Yes, he is. So pretty much what CatZ did on this map. Now B-Lord with fewer Roaches is going to sort of see if he can get a defensive position up on this high ground, but no, he's actually going to play back. Just play very patiently. He sees everything going on. He's got the good creep spread between all the hatcheries, so he will be able to quickly reroute some units. However, though, he needs to be careful here. Big number of units from Reason making their way into the 3rd base. They can go for the focus fire, and they're going to be doing that. This 3rd is dead.
Yeah, but this is really scary for Reason, because if he loses all these Roaches,
nice
my God, look at that!
Really nice trap there from B-Lord, trapping all the Roaches for Reason, and he completely decimates every single Roach. And you know what? B-Lord now, he's up by supply, 40 ahead, 32 to 7 Roaches, and now he's going to go on the counter-offensive, and now suddenly Reason, he's going to even be down in upgrades here. B-Lord's +2 is going to finish perfectly with this counter-attack, as B-Lord is now. He's gonna hit his opponent really hard in the 3rd base.
Yeah, I would actually like to see him go straight up to the natural after he sees the spine crawler and the kind of defensive setup for a reason. Now, Bealo is going to have +2 as well against his opponent's just +1, but he has to go now though, as well, his although he's ahead, remember his reinforcement is going to be very slow, and here we go. He sees the roaches up here, and he should just go up the ramp, and here. Well, he could take that, but he can still hold the low ground. That's okay.
Yeah, well, now, Beelord with a better concave. Reason actually didn't want to go down that ramp, so instead Beelord says, you know what, you're not coming to me, I'm going to you. And still, +2 done here for Beelord. Reason not going to have the +2 for another 15 or 20 seconds. Spine gets one shot, and now these heavily upgraded roaches for Beelord crushing those of Reason. He's going to try to retreat up into the natural, but I don't know how safe it's going to remain, because Beelord is just going for the throat, man. He wants to kill his opponent in this first game in decisive fashion.
He indeed is going to. Beelord right now, killing off every single structure, and, well, it was just too much there. Oh, look at that, even dancing his roaches a bit back and forth. But, yeah, it was all about that one move where he trapped the roaches. They couldn't get out.
Oh, so sick, like... It was looking bad that he lost the third base, but then suddenly with really good positioning and decision making, gets the catch and then utilizes the +2 advantage he had to get a really powerful timing attack. And as you can see, it's just working out really well for him right now.
It really is, and well, even the mana hatch comes down. That's the spirit.
Is his opponent going to see this one though? He might not, because we'll see if he decides to tap out. But no, he's going to see the hatch tree go down, and that's just going to add insults to injury. And that's it, Beelord. First game goes to him in very quick fashion, so well played there. Excellent mid-game from Beelord. Shaky early game, but absolutely beautiful mid-game.
I have to say, although he was kind of equal terms against his opponents, I have to say I really didn't like the fact that he stick around for such a long time to kind of trade roaches. The first engagement was fine, you know, in the third base of his opponents, but after the reinforcements came, he kind of let his opponents kill off a bit too many roaches.
Yeah,
so
I agree. I think he would have. I think he should have backed off personally. It's because it's like you say, he actually killed. He traded really well, and in Roach Wars, it's. I'd say, if you lose like 5 or 6 roaches, you kill 12 of your opponent. Then that's an advantage you will always keep until roaches start dying. But if you back off, there's no fighting going on, so you're not losing those units, and having that extra 12 supplies can be, you know, very important.
It really can. But yeah, so this is something that's really common in ZVZ, especially on lower level when you can actually mess up your army control a lot. It's when you try to go for the third base kill, or like, you know, snipe, and you run past with your army, and you just want to kill the third and get back in time, because you have such a high DPS army that it's really easy to do. Really easy to pull off. The only danger, of course, is that if you get trapped in some way, like let's say you kill third, but you're on the wrong side of the map, so he can actually cut you off from your own bases, that can mean the defeat for you, or it can force you into a weird base race. So you have to be really careful with those moves, although they look very simple.
Yeah, but Beelord, nonetheless, really good sort of swing around and like closes the gap, and well, you can't leave. So that gives him that first map point here in our best of 5, our second series of today here in Copa America. And of course we will have that winners match to determine who's going to be playing CatZ or Major. And
we actually don't know who's in the upper.
No,
yet.
exactly. It's completely blank right now, so we don't know. It's going to be one of those two. But after this first game already, Beelord looking really good.
Yeah, he is, and well, he's going to have to face CatZ if he manages to pull through this. But of course, we have more games to come in this series. So let's jump into the next one, shall we?
Yeah, not to count out his opponent.
His opponent.
His opponent.
Well, he is the opponent, I guess. What's opponent? This got really weird quickly. Okay.
Anyway, his opponent. Or no, is our first player here in the red. It is going to be Beelord, currently up 1 map here in this best out of 3.
Not going well for us today.
It's not going well for us today. It's going well for him though. Not so much for this guy opening things up. It is the blue Zog here in the top left, and it is Reason. Will he be able to turn things around? Because it was actually looking fairly good for him, and then suddenly...
Whoa!
Whoa, okay!
Whoa.
Okay, so 9 pool? Double 9 pool.
Well, Tenchi.
So,
well,
let's just hold our breath for a minute and a half until Zerglings start popping.
yeah. Let's say if they decide to get gases, 10 pull off before you get gas.
The delayed good luck, have fun. The mind games are so sick.
And now Reza thinks, oh, you're cheating. But then again,
so am I.
the thing is as well.
I don't think it. No,
maybe he's metagaming me, so he is actually double fake.
Yeah, so he's actually hatch firsting.
He would think so.
Yes,
But then he's actually cheating, so it's a double fake.
Okay.
This is the double fake delayed GLHF. Standard.
I get super nervous when someone like takes the first 2 minutes to say good luck, have fun.
Really? I do that all the time.
And when anyone drone scouts me, I freak out and I break a window.
What? Actually, I know you do because we usually see it on Skype when we ladder, and it's so funny to hear you when someone drone scouts.
I'm like really chill, and then suddenly, oh, he drone scouted me. I'm gonna get early pulled, and I build like 5 cannons, and then he actually went 3 hatch before pool and took the gold base.
The funny thing is, I keep telling you, like, no, some Zergs actually love drone scouting. It's really common. Oh my god. Okay.
Did you see that move? Okay.
Yes.
So B-Lord saw the lings of Reason, but B-Lord moved his lings back, so Reason doesn't know about the 9 pool from his opponent.
No.
So B-Lord now, he's going to stack up these lings on top of these ramp. He's grabbing the gas as well behind this. Starts his queen. So the moment Reason comes up this ramp, he's going to be in for a surprise. But no, he comes in and sees no hatchery. So now he realizes something is up. And here we go. B-Lord reveals his Zerglings, and he might be able to get a trap on some of these.
Almost. If he got the trap, that would be a really big deal. But now Beeler is chasing Reason back. Now, in Reason's base, we do see the queen already popped, so he does have the early inject. While Beelord has one extra worker, which is not going to be too much, but it's a slight thing here. Remember that 10% more?
Actually, 2 now.
Well, yeah, but we had 1 more in production for.
Oh, there.
So it kind of evens out.
Yes, that's a good point.
But still, I mean, point here is that we see Reason, 2 more lanes. He should be fine to defend against this. It's all about who gets that speed first, and then they're going to be just about the same timing. But Beetle has the earlier hatch.
And needs to be careful, but actually some of these units, for Reason, but the trap here is really sick. He's going to be able to isolate some of these Zerglings, and he's even keeping them back on the ramp, so no way here for Beetle to be able to get out with these lings. So now, suddenly, he finds himself in a bit of a precarious position.
Absolutely. This is kind of the reverse. This is retaliation. Yeah. This is revenge. So right now he's doing exactly the same to B-Lord as B-Lord did to him.
Revenge is a ramp best served blocked.
Yes.
And there's no way for him to get out. He's running around here, so he sees the gas and he sees the continuous gas mining. And he'll probably see this Baneling nest go down. So he's gonna have all the info that he needs at least, but nonetheless, the loss of all these lings is really bad.
Yeah, but he sees the Bane nest at least, and while he's going to make his own as well, back home, he has speed on the way as well, Reason slightly quicker, but of course he has that really quick hatchery.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Reason is grabbing a fairly decisive advantage in drones, but then I just realized, like you said, the hatchery is actually going to be done in for Beetle, so he can start building spawns on that creep on the low ground if he wants to.
Indeed, and the thing is here as well, that if Reason runs in completely like head first, just go for it, right into Baneling, that could actually be the counteract for B-Lord, who already has his hatchery set up, and of course cancelling the one of Reasons, who actually hasn't even started yet.
Oh, he's just committing to more Zerglings, and now the first Banelings have started. B-Lord will come down and see 5 Banes in the making, 7, 8, and well, he needs to be very careful here. Let's see how good the connection will be. Initially, nothing super early going down here. Some good peeling from B-Lord. Is he going to get a good destination? Trades 2 for 2. But now he still needs to retain these Banelings in order to get the connections with the Speedlings here over Reason. He's running up into the main. He starts to fight some of these drones. Nice manual connection there for Beetle, but he's losing a lot of drones. 7 already going down. More will follow.
Wow, 12 workers, 13 workers killed. Well, that's too much for B-Lord. A bit sloppy in the control, but then again, of course, it was a bit too much with that kind of attack. Well, I think
the loss of those lings, I think, was the big decisive factor.
Yeah, the loss of lings as well.
That was like 12 lings.
Yeah, I feel that was a big deal. But also, of course, like he let the lings get onto his into his middle line, and you really are going to take some significant losses. I feel that he should have gone a lot more Banelings right away, but then again, he got into this really awkward position where his opponents had way more lings than him, and still the economy behind it with all those drones. So it was a bit peculiar of a position, and if he survived, he would have been fine. But
yeah, but it's all about making that hold.
Yeah.
It's kind of like do or die. kind of thing.
He kind of survived with just a handful of drones, so it's still not enough to kind of build a macro off, so he leaves the game right away. He knows it's kind of over.
Yeah, like you played from so far behind, and well, with the way that Zerg works, you can't really make units and workers at the same time. So, that being said, that means that the series has now been tied up 1-1, and reason shows that he's not to be counted out or underestimated.
Absolutely. I feel right now that that game was really interesting, but I was really surprised of the move that he pulled with
so
hiding
sick.
the links.
So cool.
It was really cool. Like,
What a man.
really high skill. Like, that's something we don't see
No, like
often at all.
just great game sense.
Yeah, it was fantastic to see, I have to say. And, well, that kind of won the game because
Oh, yeah.
he had so many more links. Remember,
12 more links.
exactly, we saw those links of Beelor just running around the circle trying to get as much scouting as possible because they were dead the second he got that block off.
Yeah, like imagine if he would have had those 12 links if they had gotten out. That would have, I think that would have secured him the hold.
It could, like, absolutely.
Because not only would he have the capability to get more banelings in the field, but he would also have just more fighting capability. With that being said, we have map number 3 to hop into, guys. So here we are, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Our first player here in the top right, it is going to be B-Lord.
And his opponent in the southward position is going to be none other than Reason, who right now just managed to tie things up. It is a 1-1 in this best out of 5. Kind of like what we saw with CatZ and Odin.
Yeah, it's starting off very evenly. Nonetheless, CatZ did get that 3-1 win in our first series. You never know if we have a repetition of that, or if this is going to go to the decisive game at number 5.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, it is a CVC.
They can still pool.
Yeah, exactly. You can still get those early pulls, as, for instance. But, yeah, it's a CVC. We can see anything. I want to see anything and everything from these players. What I hate the most out of... like...
B-Lord?
Whoa.
Oh, okay. I was like, watching those minerals.
No.
You were too.
No, it's actually fine. The thing is...
No, okay, Reason?
No, that's fine. It's
Oh,
fine. It's
okay.
15 already. It's
Okay,
15.
Yeah, because
Yeah, settle down.
Could have still
settle
been
down.
14-14.
But you get a gas first then.
Oh, yeah, that's actually true. Would have started quite long ago.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's okay.
A little disappointed there.
Well, Beeld goes for the pull into gas. So this is not going to be your 14-14, but it's going to be something very interesting still. It's going to be very early speed, and it's still kind of economic. So you only cut out your hatch time by a little, and your minimum count by a little, but your speed is so much quicker than usual.
This can play into some big aggression, I guess.
That two hatch you talked about with the low Zerglings could absolutely happen.
Like that's a very fluent transition from this kind of opening. And we'll see if he we'll see if he decides to peel guys off gas, because that's a big tell.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you still mine gas afterwards, it means if you mine with 2, it's usually Baneling pressure / all-in, because 2 is kind of the perfect amount for like a half base saturation Baneling.
Okay, okay, pull them all off.
So it's just speed, nothing to follow up with. I like those kinds of builds. Wouldn't be too surprised to see a big Link Swell come out now.
No,
if it wasn't supply blocked.
If he wasn't supply blocked. Is it the 26 Overlord or the 18 Overlord that is like the bane of every Zerg?
To be honest, every Overlord is the bane of every Zerg.
To me, it's always the 27 Pylon.
I think the 28...
or 28 Pylon.
I think the 28 Overlord is the nuisance.
So 26 Pylon. Yeah, it's 26 Pylon and 34. Yeah, now I remember.
Oh, I like this. This is what I talked about earlier about
yeah, the wall
ramp.
of Toolings, Queen.
Yeah, it's really good. Something that happens though is that if you don't normally do it, it kind of indicates that you're going to go for aggression. But now Reason didn't get to scout anything.
Oh man, and this is a great setup for B-Lord. He's hiding those Zerglings in the main. And I think this is going to catch his opponent completely off guard. He spent all of his lava on Zerglings. And he's already got an Overlord ready. No Baneling Nest has started it for a reason. He's got that speed on the way, but remember, look at that B-Lord speed done in 10 seconds. And that's going to be the moment of truth. He's even pulling a couple of drones from the main. So he's going to even up that saturation. And here we go. The big reveal, the big tell. A ton of speedlings making their way across. And now Reason, he has nothing. He has a single queen. And that's it. He can't wall off that ramp.
Yeah, this is not going to go all too well for Reason, I feel almost. Right now, Beal is just going to rush in with as many links as possible, kill off everything before the links pop here. Let's see how many he has. Right now, that's 34 links. That's just a ton. But it's all about the micro still. Remember, if they don't kill stuff enough, quickly enough, we're going to see these links of Reason slowly but surely kind of build up here.
Yeah, and if once they get an even in numbers, things get very hard. But here we go. He's going to go right for this hatchery.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, this hatchery is definitely dead. And even more Zerglings streaming across it. They're going to start hitting the mineral line. There's nothing to defend these drones. They're completely naked. And now 3 drones dead. 4, 5 following very rapidly. And actually, Beal, nice peel over those 2 Zerglings to finish that hatch. I really like that cute little move, which is really important here. And now suddenly, Beelord with Zerglings on both sides in the natural and in the main, going to be able to bring down this queen. He's going to stop trading here. He's actually getting overwhelmed, so he's going to be forced to pull back, but nonetheless, the damage has been done, and now Beelord can fall back and start defending.
Right now, though, Beelord is constantly making more links. Let's see if he makes any more. Yes, he does. Okay, so he just wants to trade here. He just wants to finish this game and just be done with it, kind of. Now, the thing is, Reason doesn't have too much at home. He only has a queen to add to the DPS, and with speedlings, you don't really get that much of a defender's advantage. Now Beelord goes back into workers, but with that, of course, second hatchery, he's completely fine to do so.
Yeah, but the big important part is going to be, though, the Baneling Nest is going to finish here for Reason, and that's when he can start applying some... If he can sort of push Beelord back to his side of the map, that's when he can start applying counter pressure with the help of those Banes, and Beelord is not going to have any sort of tech follow-up to this, no Roaches, no Banelings. So if Reason manages to get out of this soft containment by the ramp, Beelord is going to be in a lot of trouble, but right now he's doing an excellent job in keeping his opponent back, because he's just slowly rallying additional lings over constantly while he's starting to pull ahead in those workers.
So right now, both players are trying to get the perfect concave with the Zerglings. It's actually a pretty big deal at this point.
Oh, the Banelings! They're actually not in vision here. And there we go, every single Zergling goes down here for Beelord, and suddenly he's at 0 army supply. He's remaking these lings now, 10, 14 on the way. He has that spine, but right now, Beelord will have to hold this ramp. There's a gap right now that he needs to be filling. Second queen makes her way over. Will it be able to block off in time? That's the question.
Just in time. And that spike is has a really long range, to be honest. But, well, it's just going to be by a bit of time. Did that Baneling Nest finish? No, there's no Bane Nest for Beelord.
And he's going to lose one of the first. The first queen does go down. Oh, nice, actually peels off a few Zerglings there, so it could have been a lot worse. Gets the second one, but right now, he's been oh, not the good peel from Beelord. This spine, though, is getting completely surrounded now. 2 Banelings making their way into the main mineral line. How much damage can they get down here? The queen has fallen, and Beelord has no units at this point, Alex. Not a single unit to fight with this. 22 lings in production.
The thing is, at this point, you kind of don't want to use your Banelings. Well, you use one at least, but you want to use them for the links, and more Banelings are made. So you just want to buy time to deal as much damage as possible. 13 workers did go down. Beelord down to 10 drones only, and losing some heavy amounts of lings, forcing him to constantly make more and more Zerglings. The second wave of Reason is on its way, and a constant link production behind this right now.
Yeah, and still, he's got some gas banked up, so he can make 4 more Banelings with this, which is very important. Beelord actually loses an Overlord in the main there of his opponent, trying to go for a bit of a counter swing here as he starts adding in additional drones. But it's going to be so hard, because fighting Banelings without Banelings of your own, it's just such a hard trade to take. And I think Beelord actually is he's slowly but surely dying in this game right now.
I have to agree at this point.
It's like bleeding out.
He is. It all comes down to that Bane Nest. He never added it, and he never decided to kind of transition into it. He was way too greedy behind this build, and he didn't think that Reason would try to kind of just punch him right back. And, well, you can never defend this with just pure drones. Going to just try to buy time and see what we can accomplish in the base of Reason. But remember, 1 or 2 Banes would absolutely deter this, and Reason knows that. He's just going to kill everything in the base of Beelord, and I find no way for our Red Zerg to survive this.
No, he's getting absolutely decimated, and that's going to be it which means that Reason is going to get that 2-1 advantage here in Copa America, here in our second series of Group A, or rather the upper bracket. So that was like B-Lord had a great opening stage, but those banelings that came down the top of that ramp, he actually had no vision of those. So yeah, well, just rough start. He didn't know about the banelingness of his opponent, and it just really spiraled out of control from there.
It did, and well, to be honest, he should have seen the banelings much quicker, but at the same time,
It's just so hard.
It is. It was pretty quick, and well, one slip up. That's all it takes. Now, of course, that was a pretty great hold, I have to say, from Reason, though. Like, he managed to just hold on. It looked like it was going to be 2 minilings for him to handle, but well, the Bane Nest, just so important.
I think also B-Lord being a little indecisive, as the moment he entered the base, he should have like either A, held position around the mineral line, or maybe focus fire down the spawning pool.
Well, he did get the hat trick, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. But I think he could have done more.
I think his plan was kind of to get the hat trick and just drone up.
What would you say, like, if he would have focused that bit, that spawning pool? I think it would have gone down, because there was another 15 seconds until the first like big wave of lings was hatching, and he only had 2 queens to defend and 4 lings.
Well, the thing is, you usually can't get too much surface area. That's why you often
but the
don't
pool
try
was like,
to.
like normally you can't, right? But we saw the pool was actually slightly placed away from the hatchery.
That's true. I don't know. The thing is, it's a hard call though, because when you get in, you don't know how many links are in the making.
Yeah, exactly. And like,
the thing is, like, if you don't get the pool, let's say
then you've wasted so much time.
Exactly, and then you're behind in eco and army. So it often comes up to that you want to kill the hatchery, so that you can then get out with your links and be ahead by just droning up more than your opponent, and as he gets a delayed hatchery, you can just hold him off with superior forces. But, of course, you can't always do that. As this game, it didn't work out.
It's a very sort of risky thing to do, and like you say, hatchery kills safer bet. With that being said, guys, we are going to be jumping in here on map number 4, so here we go, bam, into the action. Our red Zerg, top left here on Coda. It is going to be none other than B-Lord. And his opponent in the bottom right in the blue. It's going to be Reason. Taking the advantage in this series and bringing it yet again to another match point. Which means that we could either see B-Lord falling out here, or make that comeback, win 2 games in a row. Nonetheless, he is on the line. Everything on ropes at this point.
Yeah, match point could be Reason versus CatZ coming up as the next series. Could also be B-Lord coming back 2 games in a row.
I remember this thing here though. The one to make it out here, who's to play with the CatZ, making it into challenger in those semi-finals.
Of course, if you beat CatZ, that
exactly.
is.
Like you have to take down CatZ.
Yeah, in a best of 5 as well.
In a best of 5.
Yeah,
Not
it's not going to be
easy.
easy. No.
But like, even though you don't win the entire thing, if you make it to any of the Terrans that we have, then that's a guaranteed $2,000 and a spot in WCS Challenger. So these guys are going to have to bring their A game.
Yeah. I remember also, of course, 2 players out of Challenger will be going to the Premier spots.
Oh yeah, that's true.
To play the Global Premier League in WCS 2015 Season 2, which we had a great Season 1 actually. But of course, it is going to be incredibly important for every player here to represent Latin America. Now the question is, who is it going to be? Because only 2 players will make it. We already have 4 players who we heavily favor. And well, neither of them are actually playing in this particular series. So I would love to see a bit of an underdog story.
Yeah, but tomorrow.
That's
when the big boys come out to play. So
well, I guess CatZ is one of them, and Jim Rising is in the bottom bracket.
Jim Rising.
He's playing right now.
Yeah, in the lower bracket, or the lower section of the bracket, because it's actually not the losers bracket, to avoid any confusion.
Well, for us here in the upper bracket, it's kind of like the losers bracket.
And I'm sort of conflicted. But
the upper bracket is the better bracket. Okay, I'm just
there.
Yeah,
you said it.
We have the best bracket. Okay, we are the cool bracket. We're in right now. Okay,
that's how it is.
Yeah.
So anyway, going on here, B-Lord. Once again, going for that really quick speed. And, well, his opponent now gonna go up for speed himself. In before really quick lair, but no.
No, that's that would be even too quick for lair, I guess. But the 430 lair.
430 lair.
Wow, that'd be.
I remember we
sick.
saw like 510 lair at one point.
Did we?
Oh,
not in a ZVZ.
No, do you?
Not in a ZVZ.
It was Wingian was playing.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy.
He was playing.
Who did he play?
Oh man.
Oh, names, man. Names.
I think it was like Eric.
Was it Eric?
I'm trying to remember.
No, Eric was playing in the first series. Well, to be honest, while
No, it was just like it was Wingy and playing Berada, and Berada went for like 11-minute hive and got like really quick ultralisks.
Oh, that was so scary. Yeah.
Was like teching so fast, like insanely fast.
But that would never happen in ZVZ though. Like if it happened, you'd lose.
11-minute hive hair.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Ultras.
Yeah. Well, you'd
1-1 ultras.
You've been playing too much PvZ, dude. Like all you can see are 11-minute ultras at this point.
I was like, the Vipers, 12 minutes in.
But you know what? B-Lord right now, he has set up his second gas. He's mining from both. This is a bit interesting, especially since he kind of supply boxed himself. But that aside, I'm kind of wondering what he's up to, because he decided to go into his speed into double gas. Now he's going for lair right away, like recent. So we're gonna see what these guys are up to. Recent will go into mutas. The question is, what will B-Lord go into?
Yeah, we'll see. He's not taking. Okay, so he looks like he's also going to be going into Mutalisk play here.
Yeah, a bit of an old gas timing, but it's absolutely going to be mutas.
Yeah, so Muta versus Muta. Oh, well, 2 for 1.
That's still worth it because he didn't get the scouts.
Yes, that's true. But he saw the double gas going down, and he knows that there's already been gas taken in the main because of the speed, of course. So,
but Ro8 play uses 3 gases.
Yes, that's actually true. He's only seen the 3. Very important detail there, and he also misses the lair being created, which is also another big indication. So, might actually end up sort of mind gaming himself. B-Lord, though, on the other hand, has no info going on here. So,
he knows there's a hatchery.
That's
as much as he knows.
There's a hatch.
Yeah.
Well, I know my opponent has a decent economy.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't tried to kill me yet with speedlings.
Yeah, maybe he's just massing up to 80.
Imagine hiding 80 lings. Can I just digress for a second and talk about this really stupid build that I died to once in a tournament?
If you do quickly, yes.
Yeah, so he went 3 hatch before pool, and I was like, this is okay, because I was playing Forge first, or rather I was going Nexus first into Forge, and I'm so comfortable. And the guy hides like 80 lings off of 17 drones on one, like on a single mining base.
Yeah.
And then he breaks down my wall and just kills me. And
you know that's actually legit build.
I know.
Used in CatZ.
I know, and it's so stupid. And I was like,
it's the most stupid build
I
ever.
was so furious because I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, you're not supposed to have lings. You were supposed to drone. Oh, what the?
And the fun thing is, like, they're actually slow lings.
Yeah, like
it's
no
so
speed,
funny.
no gas. He gets 1 queen. That's what he gets.
So if you guys haven't seen this, it's like when you go to 3 hatch before pool, or you can go pool into double expand as well, and you just mass slow lings. And the thing is, it catches everyone off guard.
Yeah, it's like you hide them.
Yeah. And you just attack with about like 40, 50 of them. It's pretty crazy. But
such a painful way to lose.
It is. But this is a CVZ.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? We talked just long enough about the other thing for the spies to finish, and you know that's when things start really happening here in the Muta versus Muta.
So detail right away. Not a little detail. I'm one of those people who love these nitty-gritty things. So right away, B-Lord decides to go for the Carapace, then Mutas, while we see Reeting go Mutas into Carapace. So slightly quicker upgrade, and you might not think it's a big deal, but actually Mutas are great at microing and kiting with, or like
microable units rather.
Absolutely. Actually, all units are great to micro, but these are very microable indeed.
Like Marines, kind of. Oh,
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, okay. They're not as good as Marines.
Nothing is as good as Marines.
That's true.
Now, thing is this. It's actually we see a Reason pretty quickly get that Carapace as well, but we might see a slight timing for B-Lord, and that's all it takes. Because Reason will think that his upgrade is so close that it doesn't really matter.
Well, like both of them 0-0, and
B-Lord will no, actually, as soon as B-Lord finishes, if he takes the engagement as Reason attacks in, Reason won't be really ready for it because he's so close. They won't think of the kind of anti-timing he's hitting.
Yeah. But like I said, I guess we were saying the same thing. Like, you know, he thinks, okay, we're both 0-0, but then Beelord +1 armor finishes right as he pushes in, or maybe 3 seconds into the fight.
Yeah, I can actually finish even before.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Reason won't think too much of it because they're so close.
Because Beelord like, okay, I'm gonna go in.
Yeah, no, of course, it's not as important because he quite quickly went into Capers himself. But sometimes we see them, the Zerg there is delay it enough so he gets the low.
Life does that a lot with roaches. You know, with the +2 that like he takes the fight, he initiates the fight, and that's the finish.
Yeah. I really like that. It's a really cool detail.
So sick. Maybe we'll see Beelord do that, because I mean, in 10 seconds he's gonna have that carapace.
Yeah, well, it doesn't look like it though. The thing is, as well, as I was about to say, Reason got his carapace at a great time. He was like 12 seconds behind, so it's not that bad. The thing is, I was thinking that he might delay even more than he did, and it was looking pretty scary for him. But no, he's going to be fine. Now, has to watch out though.
That was actually a big volley here from Beelord that took a lot of damage there. Needs to be very careful. He's down in drones at this point.
He's down in everything at this point. But Reason, with a missed call, he goes for the second carapace. That's actually an inferior upgrade to the +1 flyer attacks. 1-1 is better than 0-2.
Yeah, but these Lings making their way into the third base as the Mutalisk duking it out in the center. Very even fighting right now, even using some of these Lings to buffer for the bouncing Glavy attacks. But Reason is going to push his opponent back, and now he's entering the third base. Speedlings going to start breaking down this static defense. A couple of Mutalisks make their way back in here, try to defend. And Reason is going to instead head up into the natural, see if he can make something happen here. Maybe kill a drone or two. But no options really, so decides to dance up into the main, and he might actually catch himself a queen.
Yeah, he gets a queen. It's a pretty decent trade for those few last Lings, and it's going to cost him about an inject or so, even less. But Reason behind this gets a 4th base, and this is a pretty big deal because it's all about that gas. It's all about, like, even the smallest details. Like, did I build my gases before my hatch finished? That's a pretty big deal in Muta vs Muta. Like, every Muta counts literally. 24 mutas beat 23 mutas straight up, and you still have a few mutas left because of the added DPS over a long period of time.
Yes, that's very important. There we go. Once again, Beelord actually overextending a little bit here, loses a Mutalisk because he's just not being careful. Needs to pay close attention to his units because he eats a volley or two, things get very bad. There suddenly Beelord gets a good pick-off, takes 2 for 1. And that's the kind of moves you need. But once again, he has to worry about the Lings heading up into the main. The Mutalisks fighting here right between these two bases, though. And I think that the numbers actually favoring Reason here, who decides to pull out, interestingly enough.
They were very close in numbers, actually just about the same amount of mutas, but of course you don't want to take the worst fight if you have the advantage of the extra base. Now remember, Reason is just this game away from that 3-1, and he's right now on 8 gases. That is 2 more gases than his opponent, and of course, as Beelord right now, he's kind of struggling to set himself up. Now he has 1-1, he's setting up for that +2 carapace, so he has the correct upgrade, but the problem here is that he's losing fights, so there are a few options he can do. Now, he can focus really heavily on the ground, or he can go into infestors.
Yeah, but it's going to be really difficult to go in. These constant counter-attacks from Reason being so annoying, putting a lot of rocks in his opponent's shoes, and he's actually going to kill the gas, bringing him down to 8 versus 5 gas, and once again, Beelord eating a volley there from the Mutalisks of Reason. The Queen will perhaps go down in the third base, unless he can save with these Lings, manages to come in at the very last moment, but still, he has no idea about this 4th base, and that is going to be a pretty important detail. I mean, look at that gas difference in terms of income. 900 to the sort of roughly 600 of his opponent.
150% of his income.
Yeah, that's just such a big deal here. And Beelord, of course, because he doesn't know, it's going to be a losing battle.
Yeah, it's an extra 3 mutas a minute here for Reason. And well, Beelord hasn't even scouted that. And now, as Beelord goes in to the mutas of Reason, he just realized that's way too many to deal with. There are no spore callers done for the 4th base of Beelord. And Reason, smartly enough, is going to focus that base down. Doesn't even care about the spore caller being built. And well, without that 4th base, there's not too much for Beelord. It even just pulls everything away to kill that 4th base right away.
Yeah, tries to go for a counter-attack, but no, is going to run right into a couple of Lings of his opponent. And, well, even though Beelord, with the better upgrades, it's just a numbers game at this point, and his opponent up by 11 Mutalisks. That extra gas coming so strongly into play here, and I think B-Lord kind of running on his last legs at this point.
Yeah, even with Ling support at this point, tanking a lot of those shots wouldn't be enough. He has just so few muters compared to his opponent, who's now about a third more when it comes to the muter count. And here comes B-Lord trying to clear up the Ling wave. At the same time, Reason then comes in to kill the third base. And, well, B-Lord will be down to, 4 gases, which is horrific for him.
Yeah, and even a 5th hatchery going down here for his opponent. So once again, the Mutalisks will commit into combat. And B-Lord right now doing a fairly good job in terms of trading, but more reinforcements does swing in here for Reason, who's now up by 60 supply. And I think that's going to be all she wrote. B-Lord's run here in Copa America is going to be cut short in this second series, with Reason taking that 3-1 victory, it seems.
It does look like that is going to be the case. 5 muters left here for B-Lord. He had a great set of series to get up to this point. He looked so strong in his group. He didn't lose a single game for the ZVZs he got in his group to get here, but Reason was a bit too much, and, well, he's right now just kind of admitting his defeat. There we go, good luck, and Reason will be your second player to go into the winners round.
Well, he's going to face off against CatZ in another Zerg vs Zerg. Nonetheless, very close opening stages of the Muter vs Muter, but it sort of ended up spiraling out of control there, because we saw B-Lord first lose a Muter there, and the Muter here, and it all adds up.
It does, and I feel that the biggest thing here was, of course, that 4th base.
Oh yeah, the hidden 4th. Oh, hidden 4th.
Yeah, hidden. So, of course, that was an extra, like, I think it's about 130.
150 gas a minute.
Is that 130?
Or 140.
Well, just about. Well,
we'll look into that.
I'm going to look into that, because I actually did once. And that's why I kind of remember it. But actually, it's actually on Team Liquid, so if anyone wants to check it out, you can actually do that. It's pretty cool.
Ahead.
But that being said, pretty cool Muter Wars. We actually only saw this with B-Lord before. That's the second Muter Wars we see here in the Latin American...
His last game in Copa America, incidentally, the same sort of game like we saw his first game in the rounds of 16 of Copa America.
That's pretty ironic.
It is, isn't it?
It is actually really ironic. Wow.
The way you come in, the way you go out.
Live by the sword.
Live by the sword and die by the sword. That's what they say.
Live by the muter, die by the muter.
Exactly. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back here to bring you guys Reason versus CatZ in the winners match to determine who's going to be moving on into not only to play one of our few Terrans remaining in the tournament, but also get that $2,000 extra and the spot into Challenger WCS, which is also important.
And of course, get the chance to play in the grand finals here for the Copa America 2015 Season 1.
Where you also fight for $10,000.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, you get into the grand finals in this playoff.
Yeah.
And then you get points to go to the real grand finals, which is after Season 3.
Exactly, so there's just like a lot of money and points adding up.
A lot of money and points.
Tons of stuff, guys. But with that being said, we will be returning here to you guys with the next series. I've already said it once, I'll say it again. It's going to be CatZ versus Reason, Zerg versus Zerg, and you are watching us here casting the Copa America. Don't go anywhere, because we will be right back.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Copa America 2015 Season 1. We're here in the Crystal Studios and bringing you the English stream of the Group A brackets.
Yeah, guys.
Oh, there you are.
There we are. Okay.
Now you have a voice.
Yeah, I have a voice now. So we have the final series here on our hands, and it is going to be between CatZ and, well, as you can see, we have a play card here.
Oh, sorry, I'm actually blocking the play card a bit.
We're both a little bit in the way, but as you can see, so we have this amazing setup, much better than what I have back at home.
Yeah, a lot better, to be honest.
It's a little better.
A little.
And, of course, amazing microphones. And his opponent, though, just, there he is. It is Reason. Another Zug versus Zug to close things out here. We started with the Zug ZVZ, and then we had another ZVZ, and now we have a third ZVZ. That being said, guys, as you can see, we have already loaded into our very first map. So from here on, I'm just going to hand it over to my friend and co-caster and observer to introduce our players.
Well, thank you very much, Tenshi. Our first player here in the bottom right-hand corner on Echo. It is none other than the Ro8 player himself, the creator, the architect of builds. It is CatZ.
The architect?
Yeah.
Like in the Matrix.
I was actually thinking he could also be called the creepy guy in Matrix.
He feels creepy.
And his opponent in the upper left-hand side going for some shenanigans already is going to be none other than Reason. And what is his reason to do something like this?
So 9-pool.
Uh-huh.
Good job, Reason.
It was a 9-pool, right?
Yeah, it was a 9-pool. He's so brave.
So
I think I said that about every player who does something really risky.
I love it.
It is kind of brave, though.
I think it's kind of hard to pull off on this map, though. I mean, the Overlord is going to scout, but actually, no, it doesn't have to, because a lot of Zugs do like to get that Overlord right into the main base to see if they can get some scouting done. Let's see. CatZ, smartly enough, will set it to the ramp right away, so he's going to see the natural and any links incoming right away. So, I would be surprised if these links do go unscouted.
Oh, no, he's gonna miss this. He's not gonna see it. He's not gonna be there in time.
Well, no, but they're going to come down from this ramp.
Ooh, that's
But the problem is that
it's a little too far out.
even if you see them, that's at
first
first.
Pool into gas. So okay, it's not as bad as gas pool, but okay, he's gonna see the links nonetheless. And well, now suddenly, well, damn, says CatZ.
Well, that's not too good. Now it's really happy though. They always goes for that really early pull, and they cancel the gas right away. So CatZ went for the defensive pull, which makes this hold possible, but improbable.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely have to cancel this hatchery at least. No way this is staying alive. As you can see, his pull is just now finishing up, and then there's going to be another 25 seconds until those Zerglings finish, and then take those another 7 or 8 seconds to get down that ramp. So, looking a little harsh. I would actually prefer you keep those links to back for this hatchery.
Oh, close. Oh, last second.
But there we go.
Playing with our emotions.
Playing with fire. Even actually saving the drone. But might lose a drone or two here in the main mineral line. The first links have hatched here, though. For CatZ, and he
that's
actually
an
gets the
important trap.
And, well...
That was so important.
That was,
How many links were there? 6 links!
And he lost a single drone. That's all he lost.
That is insane.
Like, he had to cancel, but barely lost anything.
It's not fair. No, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to get a trap on those links. It's like those links just popped, and he managed to trap with it.
What's the thing there with the spore crawler that killed?
Suppy?
Oh yeah, there was Suppy, like,
dude, this
calculated.
this was like a semi-suppy.
Yeah, exactly. Like they just hatched and trapped something, so calculated.
Yeah, no, that was pretty sick. That was calculated though, like 100% calculated, because it's not like they just pop. He knew where the eggs were, and he ran them right to try to pop two. The thing is, he attempted it. Now he's not 100% he's going to get it, but well, he pulled it off. That was important.
Yes, so gets a good advantage here now. In terms of not only the hatchery, but he's also going to have pretty good tech up and running. And even though his speed is a little later, he's still going to have access to those defensive banelings. We'll see what Reason decides to do here, though. Because, I mean, if he wants to finish this game quickly, he could try to go for a big ling play, but there's a bit of a risk. So I think he's just going to sort of take it easy from here on out and try to stabilize into the mid-game.
Yeah, he might. Remember, of course, that as we said, this series is so important that you can't really just throw a game away at this point. Like, you can't really afford just taking a huge risk after already taking one. So, or rather, you can't really take a stupid risk. Now, the reason it wasn't stupid, it was just really, really scary to do, and it can be very potent. But you can't really follow up with something even more risky at this point.
No, so, like I said, I think he's just going to sort of take it easy. You know, not to try, perhaps try some corner cutting, but there's always going to be a bit of a risk. CatZ now, though, has speed of his own, very briefly. Reason dancing across the map here with these lings. He's going up to fair amount of gas, actually. Up to almost 200 there, but gets 2 more Banes. We'll see who gets their lair first, but...
yeah, it's a bit of a standoff as well, like how many Banelings you want to get. The thing is, it's not too much to read into right now. We see a lag coming down for Reason, and okay, so he might go into Mutus. If we see, there we go, the third gas right away, and we should see the fourth soon enough. Might finish a bit later, but it should be Mutus from here on out, because otherwise you see the Evos first. Now we see an Evo start of CatZ, then the last, so this should be +1 Roaches, and there we go, the Roach one right away comes down.
So
see, I'm psychic, I told you.
Ro8 versus Mutalisk. Gas number 4 has been taken there for a reason. So, we'll have to see now. Can he get something done? Will he be able to deny that third base with those Mutalisks? Will CatZ be able to get the opportunity to march across the map and start slamming his opponent in the face?
That is the question.
That is a question. It's I think ZVZ kind of gets fairly straightforward from this point out when the builds have already sort of been decided. You know, when we see the 4 gas versus 3 gas +1 Roach.
I actually think it's the other way around, to be honest. I think it's really straightforward with the Ling Bane Wars because I'm so used to it. While I think it can, I think most often it's very linear in the mid game, as you say. But when you see these top tier players, it suddenly gets really, really weird.
I guess there's a lot of room for things to happen, for dynamic changes to suddenly occur. Like a big connection with Banes can change the complete outcome over the next 45 seconds, which is a lot of time in ZVZ. So for like that, for example,
it wasn't too bad, I think.
He lost like half the lings.
What?
So
no, he still has all those Banes. There wasn't too many lings, I think.
It was Reason who actually lost a couple of.
Oh, actually,
I think he lost like 6 to 8 Zerglings to single Baneling of CatZ there. So,
interesting. Well, thing is still, the big thing isn't really about the lings here. Like, sure, it would be annoying, but even that wouldn't be the biggest of things because CatZ won't be able to shut this third down, and Reason was never going to shut CatZ's third down either. So it kind of comes down to Roaches versus Mutants at this point. Now, before we go too far into what CatZ is going to do, I'm going to warn you. There's a very, very cool build that I know CatZ knows of, and it includes Queens and Knights.
Oh, where he gets like tons of Queens. Uses them for anti-air and as well for those transfusions.
Oh.
Is he heading in that direction? Because he's adding in more Queens now. Gladiary Constitution, you know what? You might actually be spot on.
Maybe, though. He might just get 6 Queens and stay there. We'll see.
Okay, so that's actually a good number to defend, but here we go. CatZ getting right on top of his opponent, hitting that natural. Queen does get away, but he's going to start killing a couple of these drones. The Banelings do swing in there. Get some fairly good detonations actually with the Roaches at the very front, but already 5 drones have gone down, and more shall follow. A couple of Roaches make their way up into the main as well. 11, 12 already. CatZ getting a really good lead here. 12 workers up, and he's actually still droning and adding more lings to support this attack.
Yeah, I like the Ling follow-up as well. It's one of those choices which is going to add to the current army and not just rally Roaches, because when you do that, the Roaches take a lot of time and they will derive this constant rally of units. Well, these Lings now, they run to the left-hand side. They're going to get past these Muters and attack straight into the base of Reason.
Speedlings here from the Blue Zerg is going to head on over, but he hits a wall of Queens. Tries to go for the surround. Might maybe bring one down. 2 have fallen already, and now suddenly not too much on the ground to actually deal with these Mutalisks. He has 1 transfusion left, but he doesn't even use it. And now the spores have started. Oh, never mind, he does have 1. So 1 per base. Reason needs to be very careful though, because he's fighting over a spore, while more Zerglings are swinging up into the main, into the natural, and every single Mutalisk is going to end up going down here. Very, just not paying attention here, and I think this is going to be it.
it might just be right now 1 meter remains for Reason. The Lynx of CatZ are coming in here, killing off so many of the workers as well as the army of Reason, and more roaches to follow. And now all Reason could do is just make mutas and hope for the best, but that is not going to cut it.
No, I mean, he lost his Balkan. That's going to be it. That's GG. CatZ taking map number 1 here in this winners series of Copa America in the rounds of 8. So already he's 1 game closer to $2,000 and a spot into Challenger.
Oh yeah.
But also a chance to make it all the way up into Premier. Those 2 final spots of Copa America, of course, included as the prize of winner and runner-up.
Oh yeah, I mean, the thing is how Copa America works right now, for you guys who don't know, it's its own circuits with points and cash. But of course, it's also integrated into WCS. So
yeah,
you
just now this season, it's kind of a new thing.
It's a very new thing, actually. So a lot of people don't really have their eyes open for Copa America, but what it does now is that it's virtually the qualifiers, you could say, for WCS Latin America. So you're going to see 2 players emerge as the WCS Latin America representatives for the global WCS Premier, where we see players from all over the world, from different regions.
Everyone participating in that.
Everyone who made it through, at least.
Yeah, exactly. So Copa America pretty much, not only if you make it into the rounds of 4 in the local tournament, you get the guaranteed spots of Challenger, WCS, but if you actually make it into 1st, 2nd place, that gives you those 2 Premier spots, because they are very limited in number from all regions.
Oh yeah.
So if you make it out of Copa America here, not only does it mean that you get to partake in the prize money of the actual local event, like I think that is $10,000.
Oh, yeah.
You also get the bonus from WCS, which is I think is like 3,000.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, because Challenger gets a guaranteed 2K.
Yeah, the thing is, like, not only the money for Premier, but like Premier is a big honor. It's like getting into the biggest leagues in any sport, really. I think Premier right now is the global comparison to like GSL almost.
It's definitely the hardest tournament next to the GSL.
Yeah, like or SSL or whatever. Like as soon as you get outside of Korea, I think WCS is the hardest you're going to find. So I don't know, man. I think it's going to be very interesting to see who will actually be the one to emerge as the representatives. But you know what? I'm babbling on. We have a game to cast.
Yes, that is true. So here we go, guys. Jumping right into it. Our first player here in the bottom left, in the blue. It is going to be Reason, who's currently down 1 game in this series. And his opponent in the top right, playing for Team Ro8. It's going to be CatZ in the red.
Right, well, CatZ taking their first game, only 2 maps away from certain victory. Now, of course, Reason not out of it yet. We still have a long way to go. Remember, Reason managed to take out B-Lord 3-1.
I'm playing a very good series in his first rounder through the rounds of 8. So we'll have to see that. I mean, CatZ has sort of he's tilting into in the direction of just being the generally favored player.
Yeah, I think people tend to do that as well because we're seeing CatZ compete a lot in North America.
Yeah, not so much as of recently, but he's definitely the together with Major, I'd say, the internationally most famous Latin American player.
Yeah,
of course, because he is team captain of Ro8. And they, of course, have a plethora of multinational players. I mean, they Hydra, Minigun used to play on Ro8.
Yeah.
Who else?
Even Supernova sometimes.
Yeah. Ro8, Supernova. My favorite Terran.
Yeah, like a ton of different players.
Yeah, lots of guys.
So the thing is as well, like CatZ is not only just a player and a team captain. He's also like a big personality, and even does other things. Like I've even seen him cast a bit of Hearthstone, I believe. So it was pretty cool.
A little bit all over the place.
Yeah, like he's really involved in the scene. So if you haven't heard of CatZ, you probably have been missing out quite a bit.
Or maybe you're not in the scene.
Maybe you're a dog person. I know you are.
I love dogs.
You love dogs way too much.
I have my dog.
Yeah. The thing is, like, you will never be quiet about your dog. Never.
It's because it's a puppy, but once she grows old and boring, I will be quiet about it.
She's not even a puppy anymore, is she?
She's a puppy.
For you, she is.
She's a puppy. She's half a year old.
Just a half year?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she was a year. Okay.
No.
Okay, that makes sense.
She's a tiny dog.
Okay, that makes sense then. But, okay, coming back to the actual CatZ game. We're going to see both players get the gases. Now, actually, we talk about CatZ a lot here, but let's just mention Reason. He just got out his group as well, or rather his bracket, 3-1. And he managed to get out his group without having too much difficulty.
So, I mean, he's here for a reason.
He is here for a reason, to make the puns even more obvious. Yeah, let the puns reign. Now, let's see here. Reason goes for speed, constantly mining that gas. We'll probably be going into that Bay Nest, and there we go. I keep telling you, when there are obvious things to call, I'm a psychic. it's like casting a terror.
You see, I only know things when they are really obvious, but
yeah, it's like I have 20/20 hindsight as a superpower.
That's a great superpower.
Have you seen Captain Hindsight?
Yeah, I've seen Captain Hindsight.
It's so awesome.
You should have not climbed that ladder into the burning house, and you should have avoided pouring that pot of boiling water over yourself, because now you're in the hospital and you have to pay expensive hospital bills.
Thank you, Captain Hindsight.
You know what? I would never have realized if it weren't for you.
Yeah.
So if you wouldn't have told me, I would have continued hurting myself with boiling pots of water.
Well, that being said, jokes aside, Reason is going to pull the ultimate joke and
no. He means serious business.
He really is. Well, behind this he's droning, so this is actually just semi-serious. He's going on a business trip, but it's still kind of casual. It's business casual.
Business trip in...
yeah, it's a jacket and jeans.
A jacket and jeans for a
business
business trip.
It's not full suit.
No, not a full suit. He's going to go right up into the main, though. And here we go. Nothing to defend. Single queen. He's going to isolate that, take that out. Good positioning here from CatZ, though. So he should be focused firing some of these drones, see if he can weaken the economy of his opponent. 2 drones already going down. He's started to queue up these commands to kill the drones in the main. Handful have already fallen. Still, though, the queen actually getting transfused, so she does stay alive. 5 drones have gone down so far. Still, not enough damage dealt for Reason, because now CatZ reinforcing with Zerglings of his own. But one thing to point out here, very important, is the fact that CatZ skipped that speed. He went right up into that lair as he was getting his Ro8 and the double evolution chamber. So now, it's going to be very hard for him to deal with this.
Now, here's a cool detail. We only see 6 workers killed from Reason, right?
7.
7, okay. Okay, I'll give you that. 7. And he lost 14.
That's actually a really good trade.
Yeah, so you'd think like, okay, 14 lings, 7 workers, it's exactly the same, right? It should be. But then you realize, why is he ahead in workers? Well, that's because he's been droning behind this, and CatZ has been constantly making units. So not only did he trade equally, but he forced a few lings and those roaches out from CatZ, and that means that he's going to have a slight worker lead.
That's a very nice moves here from Reason. And this does give him a lot of initiative. And now another thing, of course, because he has that speed, he could actually try to go for a denial on the 3rd base.
This is so sad. They just try to catch up.
No, it's not going to work.
Never.
I mean, look at this now. Reason can add in a couple of more lings, and then he'll defend his 3rd. No problem. Easy peasy. But he's actually going to sort of...
Whoa.
Okay, more lings. Here we go.
That's a lot of lings.
He's going to kill 2 drones, though, who are trying to go to become gas geysers towards this 3rd hatchery.
Yeah, well, so the thing is here, since Reason has speed and CatZ doesn't have too much defense, he's right now just going up to that 9 roach number.
Oh, gets up into the natural.
Well, it's all about this 3rd base though, and since it's not done yet, you can still cancel it, but you really don't want to at this point. You can't really take that kind of disadvantage this early into the game, especially since you might not be able to cancel your opponents.
Look at this, more lings coming in from the back here. He's going to definitely cancel this. +1 isn't even done here for Reason yet, so that means no 2-shotting these Zerglings. Gets the cancel. It's going to be forcing CatZ to rebuild that while his 3rd base back at home, completely done and finished. And you know what behind this? Reason +1 on the way, Glide Reconstitution, getting 8 roaches of his own, so there's not really going to be any way here for CatZ to counterattack.
Here's the problem though. As CatZ also wanted to counterattack right away, these lings threatened the new build 3rd, so he couldn't even counterattack.
He's sort of keeping his opponent on lockdown right now. Reason in an excellent position. CatZ is now going to try to play catch-up in some way. He needs to make something happen. We'll see. Maybe he tries to break down the ice up into the main. Maybe he tries to hit an angle from the right-hand side into that third base. But something needs to be done, because even though CatZ ahead in supply, Reason has more workers, and soon his third base is truly going to start kicking in. And that's when things get really hairy here for our Ro8. So he needs to grab some sort of counter-initiative out on this map. And I think he's going to try to find an angle towards this third base.
The Spikecaller has to walk quicker than that if he wants to make it in time, and as CatZ sees this with the Overlord, he's going to take the low ground straight away. Now, we saw Reason being supply capped a bit here, so he actually couldn't make too many roaches, and that's going to be a big deal here, because, well, he would have had extra 4 roaches or so for this fight, which would have actually made the difference. Now, CatZ is pushing up towards this ramp. He wants to take this fight, it looks like, and Reason right now just has to hold on and wait for reinforcements.
Yeah, it's going to be fairly close because more units streaming across the map here for CatZ. He's starting to close the gap, getting closer here. All of the roaches are shooting, but still Reason with the superior economy. Remember, he was up in 10 and now 8 drones. So he's going to be able to continuously replenish roaches here, and even the spine in the third base makes it even harder for CatZ to try to go for a big push up that ramp. And now he's going to be forcing his opponent back. Reason, roach advantage going to him. And CatZ is now going to be forced to back out of there, as Reason in excellent position. More roaches on the way, +2 on the way. These guys very close in the upgrades, but still, Blue Zerg in the lead in terms of those drones.
Indeed, and right now we see CatZ making drones behind this, so he's trying to catch up again. But the problem is the Reason got a lot out of this. Now he's adding that gas, now he's getting ready to go into the more macro game. And see how quick Reason right away starts droning? Instead of doing the foolish thing that we see so many players do, but just constantly make roaches right now and try to hit CatZ back, he knows that that is not going to happen. And therefore, he's going to mac up and still keep that lead.
Yeah, I really like this move as well, I agree with you. Because what he's doing now, he's playing and catering to the fact that he has the defender's advantage. And he can get away with more drones. He already has a spine in position. If he wants to, he can add in one or two. Because, I mean, he has that money to spare. Look at that. Look at the minerals. I mean, compare them to CatZ. And now, CatZ is going to try to make something happen. Play some catch-up with that Burrow and Tunneling Claws. If he can sort of get in the bases of his opponent unhindered, or unnoticed, I'd say, that's where things get really scary for a reason. But nonetheless, the Blue Zerg has pretty much just stayed ahead in most regards. So it's going to be up to CatZ here to sort of turn things around a little bit.
I guess so. Both players at the same time starting their Carapace after finishing +2 pretty much at the same time as well. Now CatZ, as I say, going to have the burrow play. Well, Reason going straight into the infestation pit. I'm not a big fan, as I said, about this, but you can force trades. And as CatZ is not going to Roach Hydra, he actually doesn't have the superior attack force, but it's made to harass.
Okay, look at this now. Reason, though, he's moving out across the map because he is maxed. 200, going for the gold base. This attack is going to try to cover for it, but CatZ sending a group of roaches around the back here, left-hand side of the map, to see if he can find something to kill. And those roaches are burrowed. So if his opponent is paying attention, seeing the dark shadow on the ground, he'll be able to make something happen. But there we go, Reason pushing up into the face of CatZ. Burrow play is going to be very strong here because he can Barrow Micro and heal up, but there is already an Overseer though, so I don't know how much of that we're going to see. Reason still staying 20 supply ahead, but at the same time the natural is getting hit. CatZ starting to bring down drones, and there's nothing here to defend for this, so he's going to lose a lot of workers, but at the same time he needs to be concerned with back at home, and he's going to lose the Roach Warren. He's going to get right on top of these spine crawlers, and there's nothing here for CatZ now. The only thing he can make is Lings. That's all CatZ has.
Yeah, right now he has to defend with the few roaches he does have, but, well, it's still a pretty nice force that he does have, but, well, he's kind of trapped on the high ground of his own ramp, and you never want to be in this position. A lot of roaches right now not fighting. A Reason behind is just making more and more of those, and at the same time, he has as many workers as his opponents.
Yeah, but the third base is coming under fire right now. Reason losing more drones. Because, I mean, these Burrow Roaches really hard to deal with. He's not really sent any Overseers back defensively. Instead, he's rallying more units across. He's killing a lot of drones of CatZ. More Roaches streaming across the map here. A line of blue. Now the reinforcements have sort of slowed down. But still, remember this. Reason can continuously replenish the Roach Numbers. CatZ cannot. He doesn't even have a Roach Warren up yet.
Yeah, that kill of the Roach Warren is just way too much for CatZ, and, well, Reason comes in here, going to focus down the last few units of our red Zerg, and that is going to be all she wrote for this map.
Yeah, that's going to be it, guys. This land not long for this world, and even cleans up the units attacking him back at home, defending his gold base. CatZ going to be spending his last minerals on a last-ditch defense here, setting up a line of, or rather a wall of spines. Still, though, not going to be enough to stay in this game. 12 drones, 39 supply. Get out, CatZ.
Yeah, well, that's at least what Reason is telling him. And, well, yeah, I guess that's... He could even go backdoor this. Like, if you ever played any mobile games, you can actually just backdoor these spines.
CatZ is still trying these counterattacks with the burrowed roaches, but I don't really see the point of it.
There we go.
There we have it. So GG, and that means Reason takes game number 2, tying things up in this series. So we are once again back to 1-1 standoff.
We are, and well, things are just starting to get interesting here. We are in our 3rd game soon enough, and that is going to determine who takes the lead in this once again. It's just like the first game, but now it's certainly a best out of 3 suddenly.
So, tensions are rising.
Yeah.
Because $2,000 and that challenger spot awaits. They, and of course, there can only be one. And it's going to be Reason or it's going to be CatZ.
Yeah, the question is which one, though. I think everyone would have bet CatZ when they saw him in the brackets.
This second game, Reason just looking so good.
Oh, yeah. I think, like, just from the look of the brackets, you'd say CatZ. Because he's the more famous one. He's the one you know results of. He's one of the most popular players, if not the most popular players out of Latin America. But that second game.
Yeah, but I like this, though. Like, we have Reason sort of small time in comparison to CatZ. Suddenly making a break through the scene like this, through CopaAmerica, through WCS Latin America. It's always really cool to sort of see the rise or follow the tournaments or runs that these players have before they sort of grow, become a larger name. And Reason, at least now, in the second map, in ZVZ, looking very good, and perhaps we'll see him push on through to play one of our Terran players, Major or CatZ. Of course, we have a best out of 5 to determine what's going to be going on.
I remember it's still equal between these two players. None is at an advantage right now. And by the way, while we're casting this, remember at the other streams you can also check out Jim Rising vs Cham being played right now, a best out of 5, just about simultaneously as this.
Yes, sir. That being said, we are going to be jumping in to our 3rd map, and it's going to be on Inferno Pools. So here we have our first player in the bottom left. Playing for Team Root, it's going to be CatZ.
That is not the bottom left.
That's actually the top left. And his opponent down in the bottom right, it is going to be the Blue Zerg Reason. And, you know, he's currently teamless. But depending on how far he goes, maybe that's not going to be... maybe someone will find him. Because this guy, you know, nonetheless making it this far, he's 1 series away from qualifying into Challenger.
Root Reason.
Maybe CatZ goes and, you know, no matter if he wins or loses, he goes and has sits down and has a chat with them, and they pour themselves a couple of drinks.
Or maybe he's like, they're 2-2, and CatZ is like, hey, do you want to join Root?
Do you want a team? So like, I'd love a team. Like, yeah, well,
too bad you're too good for it.
You know, we only recruit people who don't qualify to Challenger. It's just a thing.
Dear.
It's like in the contract.
Conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories.
Well, maybe just my insanity reason. That'll also be something.
Whoa.
Yes. As we are talking about different teams and making a bit fun of a lot of recent pickups for both teams, actually going really well for them, I just want to take time to say, we see CatZ going for 13-13 even.
13-13, so it's pretty much a 14-14, just everything a little earlier.
It's like 14-14, but without economy. And then you ask, what's economy? Exactly.
So yeah, but it is going to be a little quicker. So if your opponent goes for hatch, gas, pool, then that's going to work really damn well.
Yeah, especially if you decide to go up to, I don't know, a 16 pool even after instead of the 50 pool.
This is the worst possible opening.
Yeah. Technically, you could have squeezed in one more drone, but you don't even do that.
He's even going to keep guys on gas, and he's going to go into a baneling nest with this. So Reason in a lot of trouble.
He is, absolutely. And 14-14 will get a hat-trick, quite delayed. This will maybe get a hat-trick, but they'll be even more so delayed. Now here's the thing. You might think it's impossible in this map, because, well, you have to scout, you can't really send links or drones early on. But remember, you scout with the Overlord to the right-hand side, you scout with the Overlord southwards, and suddenly there's only one more base left, and who would have expected this? Also, look at the Overlord pathing of Reason. He's going to be completely blind that this is coming. No way he knows this until it strikes his natural.
And that's, you know, that also means that he's not going to have the luxury of time to react. He's reached that 100 gas and leaves one drone in. He starts speed of his own, but he's not going to have the sufficient numbers of Zerglings to combat this. He's got 2 Queens on the way, though.
Remember, he only has 1 in gas, which means he wasn't looking to get that Bane Nest even.
Oh, okay.
He's not going to have that in ages.
No way here for him to even combat the massive swell of speedlings that most definitely is going to be the follow-up. We're just going to see CatZ constantly start churning Zerglings as soon as the first initial shockwave hits with these Banelings for a bit of a biological battering ram. So here we go. The first Lings with speed have revealed themselves, and now Reason knows exactly what's going on. So okay, you got early gas and early speed. So now I just have to survive. The question is though, will he be able to? He tried to go for a wall, but the Banelings actually make their way on through. Fairly good split. All these drones very, very low, but he needs to continuously split this. Look at this though, he doesn't have any money and he's not even mining to add in more, so I think he's just going to die to this.
Yeah, he's trying for some counter pressure, but that's only 6 Lings, won't be doing too much, and well, as CatZ just ran in, he made the last 2 workers, so, well, he had virtually no Ling production and no Lings to defend with, so all his Queens goes down, more Banelings on Morphine's middle line, and he already lost 7 workers. Trying to somehow hold, but there are no more Queens to kill these Banelings off with.
Not a cute little move there with that drone, but I don't think it's going to be possible if a Reason to salvage this situation. I mean, we have more Speedlings on the way for CatZ, and he's just losing so many drones, and that's just going to be it. A really quick tap out here from Reason. CatZ taking that 2-1 advantage, and, well, suddenly winning map number 3 like this in a best of 5, that's going to give you, like, a strong psychological advantage.
It was dirty.
It was very dirty.
It was so dirty.
And then there was Reason getting unlucky.
Yeah, I have to say, though, that on this map, particularly, if it was, let's say, vertical spawns, it would have been really bad for CatZ because it would get scouted right away.
That's right. So he can like, guess you... What do you do? I'm trying to think. Do you, like, throw down a spine right away?
Yeah. No, you just make Lings and spine. Yeah. Like, how to hold it... so, virtually, how it works is... here's actually the know-how. How to hold against any all-in.
101.
101 off of 1 base. Okay? So 1 base all-ins.
You give up the hatch?
No, you don't even have to.
Oh.
So when you go hatch first, if it's like, even, like, let's say you go pool first, whatever. If you hit this kind of timing, so it's like a 2 base all-in or 1 base all-in, if it's a 14-14, so, or anything like it. If it's Banelings that are going to attack you, you make Queens and Spines. That's the rule. Okay, a few Lings, but Queens and Spines, because then you can keep your economy up. You don't have to trade Lings for Banelings, which is really difficult to do, especially when you're defensive, and you won't have speed and time. But when you face Speedlings, you get maybe 1 or 2 Spines, and then just pure slow Lings. That's all you need.
And then you, I guess you just buy time until you get gas
no, you just drone behind it, because you have a spine corner which is going to add you so much damage.
I guess like he can't really break into the main, but like if he can control the low ground with speed, then I think you kind of have to give up your hatchery.
Like for instance, if there's a 14-14, you can add double spine crawler, you block off the ramp with Queens.
But that's the thing though, the ramp up into the main you can block, but for I think it's a little map specific.
You can always hold it with 2 spine crawlers.
And
8 Lings.
On like all maps.
Just about. I can't remember anyone in which you couldn't, because you place both spine crawlers in your natural and block off with the Queens on the ramp.
Oh, Expedition lost Kappa, he breaks down the road.
After 2 years,
yeah, he goes like for a delayed...
there will actually be an expedition
doesn't like actually attack your front, so you're like, okay, this is nothing weird, and then he like 10 Speedlings up through the back.
I've seen similar stuff actually happen.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's actually get into the next game, shall we? It is going to be, of course, the 4th map between these 2 players. And well, Tenshi, you have the honors.
Our first player here in the top left. It is going to be our red Zerg. It's going to be CatZ. Playing for Team Ro8. He's up 2-1. One game away from certain victory and $2,000. And his opponent here in the top right, or bottom right, it is in the blue. It's going to be Reason taking a fairly decisive loss right to the face there, so that hurts. Nonetheless, can he make the comeback? I believe.
Well, I believe too. And, well, right now, we're going to start this game off with slightly standard openers.
No, don't say that, because we're at 13 supply, and you know what CatZ did on Inferno Pools.
He wouldn't do it again, would he? No, he wouldn't.
It's like
I told you.
like SOS, 2 games.
I told you about the 2020 hindsight.
Well, so, okay, here 14-14. Hello, CatZ.
Hello, CatZ. Okay, so 14-14. So, we've seen...
He does 13-13, and then the game after that...
he's like, this time I'll macro.
Imagine like this. So like 12-12, 13-13, 14-14, and it's just like becomes really dumb from there, but he just continuously does the same
You
build.
can actually start with 10-10 even.
Oh.
10-10 is actually standard build.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm actually teaching people
Okay,
too many
so
data
Reason,
builds.
he goes hatch first. Are we going to see that gas pool? Then that's going to be yet again another hard hold for him.
Yeah, the thing is though, the gas pool will give you pretty early
Okay, yeah.
amount of gas, so you
okay.
can get a Bane nest.
He's going pool gas, but on 16.
Well, it's still okay. The thing is, you can always hold the 14-14 as long as you scout it correctly. That's a problem though. You need to know exactly what's going.
That's yeah, exactly. So as you say, he's going to come in and see no hatchery, but that's pretty much all he's going to see. So I guess he can assume there's going to be some sort of gas play, but not exactly if there's going to be speed, if there's going to be banelings.
Because you see it already, like the 4 links only making, and as we're going to get constant link production right now, you see the Reason has his pool pretty decent timing still. So now he knows all he needs to do is add the spine cores right away, and he is going to be fine to burrow them in the natural. If he knows how to hold this correctly though, because it can be a bit difficult, and if your opponent tries to, be a bit tricky, and the thing is, Reason doesn't know it's a 14-14 technically. It could still be a 13-13, it could be something earlier. He doesn't know for sure. CatZ is tricky.
He's truly very tricky.
Cats are tricky.
Cats are tricky. Cats are tricky. I was like, that's grammatically... Oh. But,
not this time.
Not this time. CatZ and Reason adding in baneling nests. Speed halfway done here for Red Zag.
A bit unorthodox adding the Bane nest though.
Yeah, this is actually going to make it even more all-in, so going to be even harder for him to transition. The Reason though, he has the links out, and I think he knows, because I mean he's seen the links streaming across the map, and he sees that there's no natural for CatZ. No spines in production though for Reason. I don't like this at all. I definitely think he should be adding spine crawlers.
Oh yeah, I think it's a surefire way to kind of hold this. Remember, if you have these 2 queens walling off, as he's doing right now, with 2 spine crawlers.
Yeah, why do we always see people cutting the spines? Is it because they think like, no, it's not a big all-in, when it's actually like 90% of the time a really, really big all-in?
Well, some people don't like holding with spine crawlers, I know.
So they prefer dying in their games.
The thing is, like, I think he thought it was going to be just 14-14 without Banes, and this is a fine way to hold. One spine call will ensure that you're going to win, but he's kind of cutting that out. But the Banes, though, are going to be an issue. You can't actually attack with all your Banes, because then you just lose.
You need to be so careful. Actually, getting a good focus there with that single Zergling. Needs to be careful. 4 Banes for 2 can be a trade that happens, and that's never one you want to be taking. There we go. 2 for 3. Really good for Reason, and he's even got the Queen in the main, blocking off a little bit of that entry point into the drone line. Still going to lose a drone or 2 to this. Nonetheless, Reason, for now, has actually made a fairly good hold.
He kind of has, I have to say. I was expecting him to get that spine crawler in time. Now remember, CatZ has more workers, but he doesn't have a natural. Now, remember, Reason doesn't either. So CatZ technically is still ahead. He's,
But I mean,
well, he was. Never mind. That was actually a worker pop. So, never mind. He's at 21 workers. Because the thing is, he was behind, and then suddenly he made a lot of workers and wasn't paying attention to the production tab.
But I mean, I like that decision, because you realize, okay, I can defend with what I have, so I'll start adding drones in again. And, well, this game is kind of going to equalize now. CatZ, of course, with that speed, will be able to... right as I say that, though, I was going to say he can deny 3rd base because he has a speed advantage, but we see speed on the way already for Reason now, so he'll also gain equal mobility into this game. This is, remember, very, very important. CatZ playing a very aggressive opener, not doing the damage that he really wanted to.
I just want to say, though, remember that was a really aggressive opener, which actually took a lot of engagements. still, look at the supply, look at the workers right now, look at the amount of bases and gases. Everything is just about similar up to this point. Now that they decide to, we see, for instance, recent at the gas and Evo chamber, still very, very even.
But it's kind of not the end product that you were looking for as CatZ.
No, you want to be really far ahead. You want to be in a winning position. Probably not winning, but winning position at least.
It'll be like you just come in with such a big advantage that it ends up sort of paying off really well. But he didn't get like close to the amount of value that that sort of opening has potential to give you. Nonetheless, Reason is going to send a couple of Banelings across in. No additional support to go with this. CatZ adding in that Ro8. These Banes, without any Speedlings here for assistance, I think this is a bit of a risk, because imagine if CatZ would have caught that and just split off a single Zergling onto each of those Banes.
Well, a few Speedlings do come in, and oh, nice split here by Reason. You never want to go up a ramp with the Speedlings blindly. Always send one in ahead.
Yeah, we saw Beetle take a massive hit versus Reason, actually.
Yeah, Reason learning from Beetle's mistakes.
Yeah, most definitely. Game sort of slowing down a little bit. Ro8 being added in, +1 missile attacks. Les started. The big thing though, Reason, he is actually up by 14 or 13 workers, which is pretty significant at this point.
Well, right now CatZ make quite a few Lings and Banes to kind of pressure, but well, there's enough defense here for Reason. He's going to lose a Queen, which is a bit annoying, but then again, he has a pretty big worker lead, so he's pretty happy with that still. CatZ though also go into the La with a +1. He's kind of behind everything except for the Ro8, which he hasn't been using even. So he's going to have maybe the slightest. He's going to have the earlier speed. That's kind of it.
I mean, it could come into play like we saw on Expedition Lost, for instance. He was able to not only dart up into the third base and get the cancel, but he was also able to get away with most of his roaches. As CatZ was looking to, he was close to overwhelming him, but just because he had faster glider reconstitution by roughly 10 seconds, he could make that escape. So maybe the Lings up the ramp, and that's not what you want to be doing. Yeah,
I told you, man, never go up a ramp. Not even in the middle of the map. Never go up a ramp without sending one Ling first. But that was actually CatZ being very sneaky. He was planting a Bane in the middle of the map to kind of catch those Links of God. It's something you can do as well.
It's like a random Widowmine, but in ZVZ.
Yeah. You can even plant one next to the Watchtower, which is pretty scary as well.
Gets a single Bane for a single Ling. Not what you want to be doing. We're going to clean up these Zerglings. So third base for Reason is little quicker, and still he's maintaining a significant drone lead. I don't like this. You know what, looking back on games that I've seen with CatZ, not even super old ones, I mean, maybe going back into looking at the early stages of 2014, CatZ has always sort of seemed reluctant to drones through the mid-game like this when he comes under light pressure, and well, he doesn't, look at that, he doesn't even cancel the third hatchery, so he seems really flustered at this point, even trading off that Bane.
Yeah, he can't be making these mistakes at this point. Way too much on the line to do anything like this. And look at that. All the Lings of CatZ are going down. And he lost that third base. Now he's going to push with the roaches, though. This is the timing he's been looking for. Reason, though, is going to finish his roach speed just about now. Where the roaches, though, well, we see CatZ still ahead. But there are some Lings we could see be pulled back here.
He's gonna isolate these roaches and get the kill on them as well. Can even get the drone. So even further slowing down this third base.
Oh my god! And CatZ even moves back. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. That was CatZ's move.
Yeah, like he had. That was the only opportunity he had before the numbers of roaches would like surpass him. And he's even going to get the cancel again on this hatchery. If he gets the kill, that's going to be massive. Gets the drone at least. So he's just slowed down this third so much. Reason right now in this game number 4, he's looking absolutely stellar to bring it into a final match 5 so far. If he keeps this up, he's going to be in excellent shape.
Absolutely. Right now, CatZ is way behind Reason in roach numbers. He's behind in drone saturation. He hasn't even gone his third base up. He's just started against a three base economy Zerg, who's right now going to infestation pit already. This is so greedy for Reason, but he knows he can do this, and if he pulls this off without taking any damage from CatZ, CatZ is just miles behind.
Yeah, look at this. He's trying to find a fourth base. Nothing there yet. Reason has his army postured in the third, and he's even got Overlord. His Overlord spread and Creep spread are actually pretty good, giving him a lot of vision here. And once again, look at this, CatZ. He continuously commits with units to one side of the map and leaves his other flank completely open. And we've seen Reason actually punish him very hard for this. I think I wouldn't be too surprised to see yet another counterattack with maybe a bunch of Speedlings or a handful of Roaches try to hit that third.
Yeah, Reason wants to get supply blocking a bit. He has to watch out for that. That's something we've seen recurring quite a bit with him. But of course, the rest of the gameplay is just stellar at this point. Now, here's the thing, though. You talked about Reason abusing CatZ's position. Now, CatZ does the same. Reason is forced back, but this is CatZ's big move. He needs to bring this the third base down and not lose these Roaches. If he loses these Roaches, he will die.
Okay, so one transfuse, two transfuses do go down. This third hatchery is dead. But you know what happened with B-Lord playing versus this guy? Yeah, look at this. Gets the trap and actually closes the vice on these Roaches, and suddenly Reason up 180 supply to 113. He's doubling the Roaches of CatZ. This is exactly what we saw B-Lord do versus Reason on Expedition. He lost the third base. He gave it up, but he just overwhelmed his opponent, and now he's still even ahead in workers. The upgrades, I think they're fairly even at 2, I believe. Yeah, there we are. Reason, though, with that +1 carapace on the way, retaking base number 3 and base number 4, but he's going to go right up into a wall of spines, and drones are being pulled up to the line, and that's never a good sign.
Actually, I'm not a big fan of this. Right now, CatZ is going for the base race, but these spines are going to go down so quickly. Right now, it's all up to Reason to just defend. Sure, he's not going to take this fight, but he sure is going to take the fight in the natural CatZ. And CatZ will lose everything. If CatZ had defended with all his units, maybe he could have held. But then again, he would have lost his third base, and he couldn't afford that. So he just goes for broke, and it's not enough.
No, definitely not. I mean, Roach is reinforcing from the natural third and main. And Reason bringing down the natural of his opponent. Third base is operational, sure. But he's going to go right up into the main, kill all the drones, get the Roach Warren once again. And this move of killing the Roach Warren, even though he knows he's so far ahead, it's just like... When I'm ahead, I'm going to make sure to just keep you in the ground, and that's exactly what he does. So absolutely stellar matches here from Reason. Sure, he lost to the early aggression of CatZ, but once we come into the mid game, Reason is looking so strong, looks so comfortable, and that's where CatZ struggles. I think that he's realized this, and he's just capitalizing on this fact, and he's poised to become one of the players to make it into the Challenger League and to get those $2,000 additional dollars.
That's a big deal. It's a really big deal. And the thing is as well right now, the Reason is facing CatZ. The CatZ. He's a hero almost right now. And he's the one everyone's been cheering on, saying that it's supposed to be CatZ, Jim Rising, CatZ, and Major in the Challenger.
4. Yeah, exactly. Like in the top 4.
That's the Challenger lineup.
Yeah.
And B-Lord, exactly. And B-Lord was like one of those that maybe could do it, but who would have said Reason?
Yeah, like this guy, this is our first run of CopaAmerica, WSS Latin America, so maybe we're like completely in the dark, like, no, this guy always consistently makes it really far.
That's kind of the important thing as well, I think, because...
We haven't seen him.
Exactly. Who has seen him that isn't really into the Latin American scene?
He hasn't had any, like, considerable runs in a tournament that leads up to this much, with some local success. I mean, that's pretty much it. It kind of stops there.
Yeah, because we see a lot of the players compete in a lot of kind of domestic events.
Yeah, exactly. They play a lot in like Latin American events, but not outside of that sphere.
Because like I casted like hundreds of Go First 2s, never saw Reason once. I've seen tons of Lycans and Desros. I've seen the WCS qualifiers and WCSs. Have never seen Reason.
Yeah, so exactly, like this guy might just cause an upset tonight.
Yeah, perhaps.
Or this morning, because it's we're nearing like 5:30 a.m. in Stockholm, Sweden, from Cruxel Studios. It's a hard life.
Well, actually, to be honest, I kind of love it.
Yeah,
but
it's so sick.
Yeah,
and it's even better when we're casting from this sick studio.
It is awesome. But, ladies and gentlemen, to kind of cut you short there, mate.
No problem.
Our last game of today is going to be on Iron Fortress. Let's get this going. Our first player in the top left-hand side. As the score right now is tied as best out of 5 match point. And there's none other than Blue Zug. The underdog is Reason.
Who might not be the underdog. But I'm going to turn that around on you and say, do you know what, Bites, CatZ? Dogs bite cats, and he's here in the bottom left in the red, playing for Team Ro8, and he's down, or rather dropping that previous map, with Reason taking just a really decisive victory. He's going to have to find some sort of remedy to stabilize his mid-game here, or I think that he's going to end up falling out of CopaAmerica and his chance to make it into WCS Challenger. So, suddenly, eyes of the world on Reason.
Yeah, well, CatZ right now here has to... the thing is, it feels like CatZ is behind for some reason. And I guess it's because he was in a great position, and it now he lost it. Now he lost the momentum. So you'd say...
I think that's the drawback of playing really aggro. That, like, if it doesn't work, you kind of make yourself lose momentum, you know? Without even losing the actual map. Sort of throws you back. But once again, we just see CatZ going into that 14-14. So he's not done. His trump card is going to be just to play super aggressive, and maybe this will work, because that means 3 super aggressive speed timings in a row, and I don't think this is anything you expect really as Reason, so might catch him off guard, but we'll see if it's going to be that pool or gas first.
This is unfortunate though. CatZ does this on a 4-player map, and CatZ is a very calculating player, so he's going to say, the chance of you scouting me first is 1 in 3. So there's a 66.6 and continuing 6% chance that you aren't going to scout me first. But unfortunately, math is not always the right way to approach this game. And, well, Reason is going to come by here. As soon as he sees a creep, he knows that that is the base of CatZ, and he's just going to stand. So he sees the creep, he doesn't see a he should scout for the natural. Yes, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. So not taking risks, and he's even going to maintain vision of this ramp, so he's going to see the Lings once again, and as long as he stays on point with his game, he'll realize, okay, you went for a much earlier pool. This wasn't a... you didn't commit to making like additional drones and delaying anything. This is just like 14, 13 pool kind of thing. I can probably expect gas behind it as well. So we'll see how he prepares. He starts those 2 queens. Maybe we'll see a spine go down. He gets those the bailing nest right away. This is actually great for him now. I really like that he does this over getting speed. So Reason in excellent shape.
Right now, though, Reason needs to hold on until he can get those Banes, because the fact is, CatZ right now can get Banes really quickly, and he's going to have a very strong timing. Now, last game, Reason lost his natural, and CatZ was in a fine position, so what Reason needs to do is hold this natural. That's the first rule. Just hold this natural, and he's going to be okay. Now, that Bane nest is getting closer and closer, but what are you doing, Reason? He's leaving his base right now, being so aggressive.
Okay. But it looked like a really big overextension, but he came and saw the banelings.
He did. Now, so the thing is, had he mistimed that by a few seconds, he would have gotten caught off guard.
Yes, it would have been surrounded and lost all the lings, and that would have pretty much been game. But he's got the queens ready on the ramp, but they're actually not in a hold position to block. So that's just a bit of a misstep here. There's 4 speedlings in the main, going to get maybe some damage done, but he stops most of the banelings from even entering his main. So this is really good. Reason holding on very strongly right now. He's adding in more queens to go with this. 2 drones have fallen, but he's going to be able to clean this up. And suddenly now, he's up in workers. And these banelings, what are they going to do? These are queens ready. CatZ, you can't get through here. Even more lings make their way into the natural. Will get the queen. But I think that with these banelings, Reason in more than has just really good position here to make this hold.
Yeah, loses a Bane unnecessarily, but still, this hold has been fantastic for Reason. We already see CatZ. He started to make 1 drone, but now he's making more links. I thought he was starting to drone for a second. Now, has to watch out. 1 good connection could mean the difference.
Yeah, look at this. Reason even finding that the Baneling's morphing with his 1 drone, so he gets that. And, well, he tries to go for the connection. Not really going to find it just yet. He's still going to be able to deny these Banelings morphing here.
Oh my god, and that was a lot of links going down here. Of CatZ, and the last Baneling comes in.
Gets 2 more drones.
Yeah.
But that's going to be it. That's going to be everything for this attack. And now
a few more links are coming out here. The thing is, CatZ didn't give up until now.
Oh, he hasn't even started that hatchery like we would normally see. So he's going 100% all in. And, well, with Banes of his own, speed started, more links on the way. I think still Reason just been looking so good here. Man, I'm really excited to see this guy just sort of pop out of the woodwork and really give us some excellent games here in CopaAmerica tonight.
He most certainly has. Right now, all he has to do is hold on And drone up. He still knows there is no natural for CatZ. CatZ is so all in at this point.
Get some spines, Reason.
He should. He should just be droning and getting spine cores. Like, if he got 2 spine cores, that would be the game. But the thing is, he's still so far ahead. He's just microing his heart out right now.
Oh, CatZ is also... remember, though...
5 workers, 6 workers.
Yeah, so it's like the numbers are adding up. CatZ is up by 5 drones at this point. Still no hatchery, so he's just continuously adding in more...
he's so all in right now. So all in.
And more lings. There's now 3 queens out. And now finally, access to the main has been completely blocked off. There are 2 transfusers on these queens available, and he's going to be able to actually take down 2 of these overlords, and that's going to supply block CatZ. He can't afford remaking that. His follow-up to this, Alex, his transition, is going to be going into that Roach Warren. And how do you support Roaches off a single 1 base versus someone with 2 hatcheries, queens, and speed?
You don't. You just simply don't. He will try his best. Now you need those spines, though, to deal with this Roach Warren. Lings are great, queens are great, but when you see your opponent is still 1 base right now, and you see how late it is, get spine callers. Like, we don't need to see 6, get 2 or 3. 3 would still win you the game, no problem. Oh, that was actually an engagement.
I got a little connection there, killing a handful of lings there for a reason, with 1 single baneling, so not too big. Nonetheless, though, Reason now taking that drone advantage, gets the first spine, so he's heading in the right direction. We have 5 roaches to go with this. I think that what CatZ is going to do now is he's going to get banelings and detonate those. Either try to get a connection on a big swell of lings or onto the spines. But it's going to be very hard because we have 3 queens out, 3 transfusions on 1 of them, and banelings in position. Gets 1 connection, gets 2, and he's going to be able to clean this up. We'll see though. If we'll see how Reason reacts. CatZ now starting to bank some roaches. And this is going to be it. This is going to be his like Hail Mary play.
It is. Now, he does have a second base, but Reason is so far up in workers. Now, he needs to know, though. He needs to know that he needs to add those spine cores. He has 1. He's going to wall off as well. But CatZ right now has been stockpiling. We see the Roach one on the way for Reason. But I think CatZ is soon ready. He knows the Reason will be going in to either Mutas or Roaches. And of course, if it's Mutas, we might see a lot of spine cores, which would be too late then. So now he pushes, and now Reason sees this. He needs to add spine cores right away. Just build them. There's no question about it. There's no argument. Just build your spine callers, Reason.
Yeah, he can afford 1 at this point. His Roach Warren. He's waiting for the Roach Warren. He does have supply now. Free to start a couple of Roaches. Gets 2. That's not going to be enough. More banelings on the way. Even though he gets connections with these, with the roaches, he needs to have something that can actually finish them up. We'll see, will it be enough? He's
sneaky.
actually, nice, sort of tucking these banes away. So
CatZ right now wants to kill the queens so he can get in with the banelings and trade banes for banes.
yeah, let's see, will he be able to? Transfuse to the front, will go down here. 1 of the queens to the left will fall finally. And the second queen gets trapped between the roaches of Reason and CatZ. But here we go, the banelings weakening all of these roaches. But still, here's the problem. If he has lots of the spines, or the banelings come in, take down the spine, more roaches streaming out for Reason though. I think he's made it, he's got the game, and this is going to be it. He's going to be moving on into Challenger, but more roaches, or more lings make their way into the naturally, but great position here from Reason on that ramp. He's pulling the drones, he's mineral walking them, so they can take part of this battle, start getting some surface area on the units here from CatZ, who's rallying more Zerglings across the map. Still, Reason has stabilized, he's holding the front for now.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of banes right now. Of course, the roach production will help Reason so much. Shouldn't be making links at this point, but he just doesn't have the gas income right now. He is only on 1 gas, so he needs to make more ASAP. But here comes the big bane push. He can't be stacking up his roaches. He needs to split. But then again, he has to watch out for his workers.
Yeah, the Speedlings make their way into the mineral line. The Banelings haven't really connected yet. Sort of being indecisive here. CatZ now finally getting some connections. And there's a good find. 9 drones have gone down, but still, he has nothing offensive. His sort of firepower has dwindled. And now CatZ dead in the water. He has nothing left to fall back on. And Reason now is going to continuously add in roaches, follow this up with Speedling reinforcements. And that's going to be it. I think this is going to be the nail in the coffin. These roaches slowly lumbering across the map here.
Well, we do have banelings on the way and more roaches. This spine core is as well building right now. And nice hit by CatZ by denying these banes. I wouldn't call the game over just yet, although it does look heavily in favor of Reason. CatZ will make one last hold. Well, trying for the bane connects. Nice micro by Reason. Great splitting. And well, Queens come out with transfuses. The spine is almost down. Now he only has to back up and transfuse these roaches. The spine right now is dealing some serious damage, and Reason is pushed back.
He wasn't actually fighting by the spine there for a second. And that's actually really bad. Now he does it.
So it was hitting from the behind for a lot of time.
CatZ needs to be careful to not overextend it though. Because if he moves out on the map too far, then suddenly he gets enveloped by reinforcements of Reason. But no, he's sort of falling back here. Is going to get those upgrades again. Re-droning. Reason still staying ahead in those workers. And once that +1 kicks in, then next fight he takes is going to be really good. He needs to be a little careful though and get some more units of his own, because CatZ is on the offensive yet again.
Reason doesn't have too many roaches at home, and to be honest, there's no spine at home right now. CatZ is pushing across as well. Reason, is he really risking this just for the cost of a few roaches?
Yeah, he's so low on gas he can't actually make too many. Has tons of minerals though that he's not even spending. Look at that, up to 800.
Wow.
Sort of.
He should be trying to be honest, as he now sees CatZ moving back, he should just roach up really heavily, get that 4th gas, and go for the 3rd. That's like the optimal play, I feel, right now. He needs to get into the macro game. He just needs to hold a bit of an edge because he has so many minerals to spend right now, and he can't.
I definitely agree. We want that 3rd hatchery, but we have the layers started for both the players. CatZ setting up a bit of a little counter-attacking force with Lings and Banes here to the right-hand side. He's going to see the 3rd go down, which of course is which is good. We'll get that information. But we'll see if he can find the angle.
He's trying to bait. He's trying to bait those Lings.
Oh yeah, it looks like it. Will he be able to though?
Oh, perhaps. This is a nice little trap.
Yeah,
Reason, don't pay attention!
Oh my god, losing a ton of Lings to those Banes. And really good trade there for Red Zerg. Doesn't get the cancel on the hatchery, but nonetheless, excellent trade. The problem here now is though, Alex, CatZ has not started the 3rd of his own. He is only adding lots and lots of roaches here. Will it be enough to break down this 3rd base of Reason? That is the question, because it's going to come down to it. That's going to be the target that CatZ wants to hit.
Well, CatZ, he does have that +1 on the way, but he's behind in upgrades. We see Reason though going into Carapace. That is an interesting choice. He didn't get the +2 missile attack. That's a big deal right now. I think he just missed it, or he actually tried to get Carapace before his lab was finished, but never got that +2, which is really scary stuff right now, because CatZ will get that +2 before Reason in that case.
Yeah, and of course we know how those stories go. You fight down one of those offensive upgrades, can get really scary. Nonetheless, nearing completion here. There we go. It is done. CatZ starts +2 right away. Glal reconstitution almost finished. These guys very, very even in terms of worker counts. Reason staying up a little bit in supply because he has a few additional roaches, but well, there we go. Starts that +1. Oh, that +2 rather. So
it's really well timed as well,
yeah,
with CatZ's, so he won't be hitting a bad timing, I feel. It'll be really hard. It's like a few seconds between them only.
No really big opportunities or a massive timing, like you say.
Oh, this is so tense right now.
Oh yeah, this is like so.
Like I'm right now, like kind of silent because I'm just waiting for the next big move.
Everything on the line.
Yeah.
Because the winner of this map will be making it through into Challenger League, and
securing tons of money. CopaAmerica points.
Yeah, so like you say, not only do you get the seed into WCS, whoa! 10 banelings or 10 drones going down to 2 banes.
Wow,
those were the banelings.
Those were the Lings.
Or the little like the Ling assault force that he had kept at the back. He made them into banes and sent them right in.
Yeah.
And got a good hit.
Yeah, my apologies, I missed that. That was really sneaky.
Yeah, but Reason now, he's said, do you know what? I've had enough of that, and I'm gonna go for it. He's
Can he though?
Down, he's up in 3 roaches, but that's not going to matter as they're making their way across it. CatZ with the defensive advantage and the spine crawler, which is really important at this point. He's actually going to be whittling down the front line here of Reason, who might have to back off because he's overextending a little bit, I feel. And suddenly Reason giving away the advantage he had. Was this really the right move?
I don't think so. He's pushed back by CatZ. He had the big army, and now they're so equal in supply. Reason once again try and push, but remember that one spine caller has done so much damage. 5 roaches by itself.
Oh no, look at this. He's going to be able to trap the roaches of Reason. No way to escape, and they're all going to go down. And now suddenly CatZ is going to be pushing the issue to the front line of his opponent. I don't know if I like this, continuously adding on roaches to fight out of his side of the creep. He should be like retreating at this point.
Yeah, I completely agree right now. He tried to kite a bit, but it did end up hurting him instead. And here comes CatZ. He failed the 14-14, but he has been pulling himself back into this game more and more. And right now, splitting up a few of these roaches, trying to kill off those roads. Taking a great conquer, though, is Reason. CatZ kind of thwarts it away for now, but he's killed 5 workers for those 4 roaches, and that is absolutely worth it. And now, CatZ slightly ahead in workers, slightly behind in upgrades. Still a very even game, can go to any of these players.
Yeah, the little moves of just continuously adding on to the drones killed count is really important, because the moment you stop making those units and you have to start droning a little bit again, that's an opportunity, a window of time for your opponent to hit you, where you will have fewer units. So this game just really close. +2 carapace on the way, +1 carapace on the way here for CatZ. And the reason actually going ahead and grabbing a 4th base, CatZ doing the same thing. So once again, the game is going to stabilize, but all of these, whenever something goes on, it's like super high pressure, super high octane sort of scenarios.
Both players getting a 4th right now, and here's where the harassment starts. Now see CatZ getting his 6th. Actually, no, sorry. He never got a gas in his natural. So that's his 3rd and 4th gas? No, sorry, 4th and 5th gas. Sorry, 4th and 5th gas. He's not that high amount of gases. Same thing goes for Reason. Right now, they're just massing out roaches. And, well, we should not see a tech transition for some time between these 2 players. Maybe from CatZ.
Yeah, but the big deal is going to be the fact that CatZ is continuously counterattacking. He's hitting these angles where there's nothing to defend. The queen in the 3rd is going to go down. He might actually get a cancel on this 4th hatchery. This goes down, then suddenly CatZ will have a massive advantage. Now look at this, he's peeling the entire army of Reason back, and he kills this hatch, forces that cancel, and now suddenly we'll see CatZ with a 4th base up. He's going to have +1 carapace, so he'll be down in upgrades, but the superior economy is going to favor our Red Zug, and now Reason realizes that he has to sort of put on some sort of counter damage. He even has an Overseer ready here, so he sees the exact positioning of his opponent, but this is a very hard angle to come up, because they're fighting up into a ramp. That's very scary.
And CatZ trying to catch Reason off guard, and here goes Reason right into CatZ. Is it enough though? Reason still doesn't have that +2 carapace, so they're actually completely equal in upgrades. And well, really even roach numbers right now between the 2 players. But I feel CatZ better concave.
Yeah, he has the advantage. He's slowly starting to whittle his opponent down, dropping his supply. CatZ now taking an advantage. He's barely managed to keep it in the series here, but he's actually pushing his opponent back. More roaches will end up falling, and he's forced his opponent on the retreat. And now Reason down 1 base, down in roaches. He's going to have more upgrades, but I don't know if that's going to be enough, because roach versus roach is generally a numbers game in terms of bases and actual fighting units, and he's down in both.
Reason had his golden moment. He was about to beat CatZ. He held the 14-14, and he was so far ahead. He was 2 base with good economy against a 1 base CatZ, desperately trying to make roaches, which he held against. But he crumbled under the pressure, and right now he's against the ropes. He's behind in workers, he's behind in bases even. His upgrades aren't that amazing, and well, he's even behind in armor right now.
So if he can find a really good opportunity here, perhaps, then he can swing back, but a direct confrontation here with the army of CatZ, that's nothing I'd advise. And he's once again going to be pulling off. I'd really like to see Reason sending a group of roaches around that right-hand side. It takes some time, but I think it's definitely going to pay off to go for counterattacks. Force CatZ on the defensive, because we've seen Reason just sit back, defend, 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 and that's not what you want to be doing at this point when you're down. You need to find an opportunity. You need to find that gap to go back and get some initiative in this game.
Right now you see CatZ just skyrocketing in supply really. He would have actually been maxed almost if it wasn't for this the supply block. Now, here's the thing. CatZ will, when he's maxed out, force a trade. He's not looking to tech out of this. You see that he's not adding any gases. You see how he's just massing roach. He knows he's ahead. He doesn't want to take any risks. He's just going for it. And he's maxed out right now. Here we go. This is push. And he's fine with trading. Even if he doesn't kill his opponent, he's sure going to trade.
Yeah, any trade he can find is going to be really good for him. There we go. First volley actually being really good for Reason, because CatZ move commanding there for a second, so misses 1 volley, but he's got so many roaches on the field. These transfusers are going to be very good, and right now the arc is actually really good. If Reason on top of that ramp, he's going to be losing his units to the bottom right, but still he's pushing CatZ back. Still down his supply, but had a really good angle, and he's still got a handful of transfuses here for these roaches on those 2 queens. So they've actually been helping out quite a bit, making sure that front line stays stable. And now the gap in supply has been a little more equalized, but this 4th base is definitely being the big factor here for CatZ now, because look at the way that he just has more minerals.
Oh, absolutely. And right now, CatZ, I feel that he needs to add that extra gas, though, because right now he's trying to fill out the fact that he's missing gas by adding more speed links. I don't like this choice. He could add 1 more gas and constantly make roaches instead, but he's sending links around the map.
He's going to go for another counterattack.
He's looking for any hidden bases, and after that, he's just going to counteract into this 3rd as he attacks into 4th.
I really like this. It's exactly the kinds of things you want to be doing as CatZ.
Especially when you're maxed out as well, because your opponents can't afford pulling any roaches away.
Yeah, exactly, because like, then you assault the front, and then he's going to have units split up to have to deal with this defense.
Oh, a second counterattack as well with the Banes.
Yeah, this is really nice from CatZ. I definitely love these kinds of moves. We haven't really seen that too much of that from Reason, sadly, and well, CatZ definitely turning things around. He's going to lose the queen in the 3rd base. Barely stays alive.
Well, I'm not a big fan of this, though. I mean, CatZ decided to attack in before he attacked with his main army.
And wow,
another 6. Wow,
yeah, another 6 goes down.
I thought they would get killed much quicker. Wow. But here's the thing. CatZ should have attacked with his main army and queued that command. The perfect attack would have been him sending those Banes in first and then like queuing the links to attack afterwards, as he just forced his opponent to stay put with the roaches. That was a bit of a mistake, I feel, because he could have gotten much more damage done.
Yeah, but once again, he has that max. He has a fairly good mineral bank, and he's going to try to see where can I go, where can I break in. Starting to bring down some of that creep. So now we have this massive fan out over roaches on both sides of things. And CatZ still looking for that window of opportunity. Remember though, CatZ can remax. Reason not so much, because he's very low on minerals. He has the gas for it, but just not the economy in terms of minerals to back that up.
Same supply though, and remember the Reason does have the extra carapace, but it's all about position right now. CatZ goes up to his right hand side, not with his entire army though, and both will forge together their armies for one last fight. Both were maxed out, but Reason's quickly plummeting his supply. He does have the extra carapace though, but CatZ has a perfect arc.
Yeah, is this going to be enough? CatZ like barely dropping his supply, and look at that, that's just because of the money he had. He could definitely just going to be sending more roaches across, and Reason right now, he's crumbling apart. The front line is shattered. This 3rd base is going to go down. The roaches right now for Reason are streaming in, but CatZ still rallying more across the map. The blue zone though, he's actually holding off for now. He's going to be holding this first wave, but that's not going to be the true problem. This is the killing blow. CatZ now, more roaches hitting the 4th base. He's going to have more roaches streaming up to just finish this, and
yeah,
I think this is it. I think Reason is out, down and out. This has been his run in Copa America, bringing it to final game versus Ro8 CatZ, but just barely sort of...
He missed his moment.
Yeah, he definitely did. Misread the situation, overextended, and gave CatZ the opportunity he needed to make things right for him, because CatZ was actually dead. And now the tables have been completely turned, and that's going to be it. That's GG.
That is GG, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. CatZ is going to be your player to move into the WGS Challenger for Latin America. Oh my god, what a game.
What a series, I have to say.
I love this.
What an excellent way to finish off this evening. Wow, that was absolutely crazy. Like, Reason there with a hold was looking very tense. He had units up in his banelings morphing on the right hand side. He sent a drone to deal with that, like maintain vision.
He held so well.
Yeah, it was like such an insane hold.
Oh yeah.
Barely took any real damage, because like he was constantly ahead in drones. And he had the second hatchery, he had the queens didn't even die, and then he had the spine, he held off the first roach waves, and then he overextends, and then things sort of started going south, and then he still had the lead, but then he overextended once again. And CatZ with the constant counterattacks.
Exactly, the counterattacks was such a big thing. And then when he lost his 4th, because he still had the earlier 4th, then his opponent, but when he lost it, that was the big turn. Because CatZ was slightly behind in a lot of things, but then he started catching up in army, etc. with these counterattacks. He kind of caught up in work as well, but it was this 4th base. But when that died, and CatZ got the earlier one, the only lead that we saw from Reason was that carapace, and it's not that big a deal.
No, it's
only in the maxed out fights you're going to see any difference with it.
Yeah, but and then of course the fact that If you can't remax but your opponent can, then that's of course another very important detail, because like even if you trickle in like 20 roaches but he has 45, then you'll just get steamrolled.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, just really good series, and congratulations now to CatZ to be our player to move on, and he's either going to be playing CatZ or Major, but nonetheless he has secured himself not only a spot in WCS Challenger League, but also the prize money of $2,000 additional onto his name. So he's probably very happy about that. It's been a while since we saw him, pull any sort of bigger result, and maybe this is going to be his ticket to make things happen.
Or go and see CatZ in Premier League.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, you never know.
CatZ versus Naniwa.
CatZ versus Naniwa.
Could happen.
Could happen. But with that said, I mean, we had a great first day here of our rounds of 8.
Also, didn't seem too long, but then again, tomorrow we're going to have the second semifinals, which of course is the WCS Challenger for Latin America for the first time for Copa America. And of course, then we're going to follow up with the finals, which is going to be the 2 Premier players facing off for those Copa points and the prize pool.
Yeah, additional money on top of that. I think they're like 4,000 each.
I can't wait to be
I'm not
honest.
entirely certain on the money, but it's going to be really good.
To be honest, the biggest hype for me, though, of course, is the next couple of series, which will be the second semifinals, because that will determine the Premier players. And I don't know why, but nowadays, because of the global Premier that we have,
globalization,
or like the global Premier, like I am so excited to see who is going to be represent.
Yeah, who's it going to be? I mean,
yeah, because nowadays, like we saw Haas versus Naniwa, for instance.
Yeah, that was actually a really interesting series. But
yeah, so are we now going to see like CatZ versus?
Could be anyone.
Yeah,
I personally
CatZ versus
think
Jim.
From what we could see when we were doing the Kung Fu Cup qualifiers, Major was actually playing out of his mind in TVT.
Oh my god, his TVT is amazing.
So I think like if Major sits down and actually practices, because I know that he doesn't practice that much anymore, which is very sad. But if he sits down and does that, he's going to be like, if he gets in good shape, he's going to be an absolute monster. So definitely going to keep our eyes on him. But that is actually, guys, something for tomorrow, because that we have CatZ. And,
yeah, actually, we have a second player. Now, I'm going to see if the brackets work or not. Let's see if they do work. No. Okay, so they weren't updated, unfortunately. But, okay, so I'm going to bring you through it. So, we actually saw in the other winner series, it was Jim Rising versus Cham. Now, do you know who won?
Jim Rising.
Jim Rising. By how much?
3-1.
Cham 3-1.
Cham 3-1?
Who would have thought that? So, it is going to be CatZ versus either CatZ or Major in a ZVT, and then we're going to see Cham in a ZVT as well, but of course against CatZ or Major.
Yeah, it can't be the.
Yeah, but we could see Cham in the Premier League. We could.
Cham and CatZ.
Cham and CatZ.
Cham and CatZ.
Who would have thought that? To be honest.
Well, nonetheless, I mean, a few surprises here in Copa America and WCS Latin America.
Wow.
To be honest, though, it's been fairly exhausting. We are casting here from Crooksville Studios in Stockholm, Sweden, and it's just around...
it's 5:45.
It's 5:45 a.m. Yeah. So, you know what, guys? It's been an absolute pleasure to cast it for you. Congratulations to Cham and CatZ making it on through into the rounds of 4 to guarantee not only the challenger spots, but the money.
Yeah, and of course, don't miss tomorrow, the same time tomorrow, we are going to have WCS Latin America for the first time for Copa America Season 1. And well, until then.
Yeah, I think that's been all from us. I've been Team Properties Tenshi, and casting here with me and observing, doing the production, it's been Team Properties Surveg. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, because we've had a blast, and we will see you guys tomorrow at the same time. This was the Copa America and WCS Latin America. Thank you very much, and good night.